Christy and Mike. Can they pin down the treasure? They just might. Tune in to find out Monday nights. K-Pro Cow Powwow. K-Pro Cow Powwow wow. It's the K-Pro Cow Powwow.
And hello, everybody. And we are live. Today is Monday, September 20th, K-Pro Cow Powwow. Anything to talk about, K-Pro? Anything at all?
Not really. I wanted to go watch the football game.
Yeah, I cannot watch it here. I actually thought Lions are hanging in there, though. Actually thought I was going to be able to watch it, but I can't. Okay, so today is all about the 9-mile hole, or hole. Remember when Forrest says how deep is a hole? Obviously, he's referring to along in Madison. So, yeah, K-Pro made the trip. We hope you guys were able to watch the video that we uploaded yesterday. It gives the boots on the ground footage. And then tonight, we have a very good lengthy PowerPoint. So thumbs up for K-Pro's PowerPoint that goes over the possible clues in that area. And then we let you guys decide. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it is correct or do you not? And again, we're not trying to really convince anybody. We're not trying to cram it down anybody's throat. We're just putting out the theories and you guys make your own decision. Isn't that right, Christy?
Yes, and I actually have a slide on that. This is the longest PowerPoint slide I've ever made in my life.
History.
In history. It is pretty long. It has some conspiracies to it. It has some sources to it. It was actually kind of fun just to put together because there's some shenanigans. There's no doubt if there's margaritas and midnight and Cynthia, I mean, come on, and Shannon and Steve and Jens just kept buying drinks. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, so it was fun to put this together because for me, it's closure for a general area. I've had lots of people already email me. It's not the case. This can't be it. This can't be it. Nope, I'm ruling it out. You haven't even seen it. Open your mind. This is my Harry Potter.
I can't say it can't be it. I mean, how can somebody say it can't be it? But anyway,
before they even see it, I'm okay
Yeah.
if you see it and then say no. And by the way, I would like to invite anybody who was there. So Steve and Cynthia and Jens and Shannon, if they want to be on next week, and I would like a couple of you guys to be on, whether you like it, don't like it, anywhere in between. If you just have opinions, we're going to have a panel next week. So I think that will be fun as well.
And I'll say, if anything, Jens and K-Pro buried the hatchet. So if anything, we have that came out of it, right?
There was a late
Good things
night.
happen at
There was
Bullwinkle's
plenty
or
of drinks.
pizza
And
place or wherever.
No, it was the Wild West, and a few things were said. We shook hands. We have a new trust system.
A new trust system.
We'll get to
I told
that
you
later.
phones go in the freezer, but I guess when you're in the bar, you can't do that. So, okay. Yeah. So thank you to Albert. He just posted the link to the video. If you haven't seen it, we uploaded a video yesterday. And there it is. So find Albert Camus in the chat and click that link. If you haven't watched it, you can be able to see what we're talking about.
And not only that, I do want to say before we get started, I loved it when Steve goes, let's see, my friends call me Buck. You guys can call me Steve.
Oh,
and then Jens and I, and then when I saw Cynthia for the first time in a long time, I haven't talked to her in forever. And Shannon, this came out of nowhere. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it all tonight because you guys deserve to know. And that's what we're here for. You and you and you. And if you don't, thumbs up or thumbs down if you want to, but thumbs up for PowerPoints and Super Chat is on. And we played this great game called Tell Your Biggest Chase Secret. It ended badly, but that might be what you guys want to ask.
It ended badly. It's kind of like the chase. I will say a big thank you to you. Say, who are the people who've put this 9-mile hole solve on Thor over the years? Because this isn't a new idea. So I know I know Vertigo. I don't know who else. I don't know who all was involved. Must listen good.
Yeah.
So you guys have been saying, hey, this is it, but it's hard to read through a bunch of stuff on Thor. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier in video form. And I know some of you like Rudy have gone and done video, but K-Pro's PowerPoint makes it easy for people to digest. So we'll see. People can make up.
How many times I would either email or on Thor say, Rudy, can you get me this? Or Rudy, can you get me that? And I'm like, I'm going to put and he goes, what is it going to take, Vertigo and I, to dress up as Forrest and Jack and just make it like, and I'm like, I'm just trying. And I did not get through all of it until this week. There is a ton out there. This is absolutely not my solve. I am going to show you someone who had a picture. I believe now for sure I know who the 200-footer is.
Oh, that's right. There's some possible breaking news tonight, everybody.
I
have the 200-footer.
I don't even know how I would feel. There's a picture, and there's a picture. Oh man, we have all that tonight. We have all that tonight. So thank you. We had pictures come in and info come in all the way until about 3 o'clock today. So I want to thank all of you.
Steve, we just finished the PowerPoint. I don't know why you're late. And thanks everybody. No, we haven't even started
one here
yet.
Has to super chat $1,000. Sorry, Steve, you're it.
This is like the longest PowerPoint. We're probably gonna be here 2 hours, guys. Not just from the PowerPoint, but I think just discussion, because I think this warrants a lot of discussion. So you guys stick with us, get a drink. I know the football game's on, but
I have
let us know what you think in the chat. You got what? Water? Is that what I heard? Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, I do. I have a water. See?
Yeah, and I got my coffee. All right, we ready just to jump right into it?
Let's jump. Don't hurt yourself. Let's jump. Jump up, but get down.
All right, here we go. Boom. There it is. My trip to Yellowstone confirmed. Get it? Because K-Pro did go to Yellowstone.
Yeah, and there's exclamation points there. That means it's for sure. I went to Yellowstone.
That's right. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go through it, huh? I like how you put the pictures together and stuff. So everybody knows who made that chest right there.
3D bronze. I have a thank you slide at the end. I got a whole 3D bronzes box of treasure, and we had some fun with that. But I didn't want to make it like too much, so there was no shenanigans. See, I respond to the people, especially to Rudy. He's the big brother that I need to impress. By the end of this, Rudy, I hope I impress you just a little bit. Make it up and lie to me. If not, I've been working to impress you just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay.
Still going with the under there, Sophie? Lions are hanging in there, aren't they? Oh, but I digress. Sorry.
We have a task today.
Be healed. Sorry.
Be healed. Drink. Go back one, please.
All right. That's going to happen a lot tonight, guys. I can
No,
already
it's not. You're going to focus. You're going to not think about that football game.
Okay,
and you are going to focus.
I'll get one freebie. That was mine. There we go.
Okay. So I like this one on the right. Well, he seems comfortable and pain-free. Wait, is that a beer? See, his beer's an IV. And be healed and drink plenty of fluids. John Miller, we know that you're healing and recovering, and I hope you are doing well. And yes, you are a part of this family, and I hope you're sitting back and smiling right now because you are doing better. It is not COVID related, friends, but it is. He was.
Oh, I didn't catch it that was John. I did not catch that when I first looked at this. Yeah, John, we hope you're doing well. We hope you're doing better there in Michigan. So thoughts and prayers with you, and for hopes for a speedy recovery.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for listening and watching tonight.
Okay. Next slide, please.
The agenda.
Okay, so what we're going to go over, just so you know, if you just want to click away and leave now, there is lots of sources of information. This is not going to be poem-based until the very, very end. I actually don't believe in the poem-based solve, but it is the leading solve right now, and we walk through it. There is not nudge gate in here. There's more nudge gate going on than you would believe right now. This is about the general area. So there's lots of pre-trip things that happened. Why did I even say, hey, Mike, can I please go to Yellowstone? But then I'll talk about the trip. So we have a lot of foundation to lay of why I even turned to Mike and said, I can't miss this season. I got to go. And then the trip, how it all came about out of nowhere. And then even new information that came in even today, like the 200-footer, like why Trump's doctor. There is so much.
Oh, that's another breaking news. Trump's doctor. Possibly that little conundrum is solved as well. We'll get there. Everybody.
We have secrets to tell. And then the video was your homework. If you didn't do your homework, please leave the room now. You're not allowed back in until you super chat $1 million.
I saw that. Sorry, we're talking football. Sorry, honey. Oh, here we go. Pixel Ninja calls it out. Says, why all the thumbs down? Come on, let's show some love and give a thumbs up for K-Pro's PowerPoint. So we currently have 22 thumbs down and 21 thumbs up. Can we get to 100 thumbs ups, please?
Can we get to 100 total with
Yeah.
so many of you in the room? I don't care, because that means the haters are engaging, and that means they are helping us monetize, and that pays for our home, and it pays for our vacation home in Wyoming, and it pays for our other vacation home in Canada. Guys, that's a joke. That's a joke. I'm a little ornery tonight.
Cujo, hey, there's a $40 super chat from Cujo Law. He says, thanks for the Beacon Star book before this gets too deep. That's right.
What?
Cujo got his Beacon Star, did you? Because everybody who asked for one got one. So thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it.
You guys. It's about Beacon Star. Tonight's not Beacon Star, but I love you.
We got a super chat from 9 Mile Ho, $1 million. Thank you for the super chat. And I love that YouTube name. Pretty funny. And the high-heeled boots. Okay.
Okay. There are 3 sources, and Indy's going to love this. The 3 sources' names are Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You get it? Okay. Harry is the friend of Forrest. Ron is the friend of Jax. And Hermione knows all and is friends with both. There are some unnamed sources. You will see why by the end of this. I think eventually everyone will not be unnamed, but you're going to have to wait for some books and documentaries and other things, and we'll just see how things progress.
Oh,
but you will see some names.
Randy could have been Hagrid. Oh, okay. Super chat from Copper Dan. What would you say about $1 million? Everybody's mentioning it. We got one from Miles Sandwich who says, Mike, I emailed you before about the cruel searcher. Are we to ignore Jack's original Medium article about the fake blaze? We'll be checking this week. Yes, I think I remember your email. And K-Pro is going to talk about the fake blaze. It's in the PowerPoint, so wait till we get to that part.
It's in the PowerPoint. Okay, so over on the right, think about it this way. We're going to think big here. We're going to think Wyoming. Why Wyoming? For me, it was Forrest Fenn, court affidavits. Then we got to the Madison because of the Condor database. Then we got to a 10-mile rectangle because of the map. And also remember Odious Soul said this, the 10-mile rectangle. Then there is some information that got us to a 4-mile stretch of the Madison. Then down to the 9-mile whole parking lot, and then heading up that creek. I got a crazy picture today. We got some more information. So I might lose you along the way, but this is just my thought process. And about halfway in here is when I said, Mike, I'm heading to Yellowstone. So Carrie says, K-Pro isn't friends of Jack, so Hermione can't be her. Well, maybe I have buried the hatchet with many people. When's the last time you guys exchanged emails with Jack? Mine was yesterday, my friends. So maybe, hey, if I can bury the hatchet with Jens, I can maybe make amends with Jack too. Hi, Jack. I know you're watching. I hope you don't get too mad tonight. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's dip our toe in it, shall we? But that's just K-Pro's opinion.
I'm laying out what I think is I know is my information and my journey. I'm not here to convince anybody. So just thumbs down is the worst I want you to do. So there we go.
But Cujo Law, did you find the doodle? Okay, sorry. That was a private message between me and him. Yeah. But that's so. Yeah, again, we're not trying to say this is it, everybody. I didn't put 18 exclamation points on the title and all that like I did with the GPS, and I was wrong. First one to admit it. But we do know it's in Wyoming. That's been confirmed, right?
Confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, confirmed by Forrest in court documents. That's enough for me. And plus, this makes the most sense.
It's not just about you. This is about everyone, getting everyone on the same page. So in case they have been stuck in Chaselandia and they have not seen, we're walking through all of this tonight, Mike. So let's start in Wyoming. Step 1. Next slide, please. So the court affidavit in June and August, many of you saw the Medium article and say, oh, Forrest said Jack and him agreed. Well, no, he actually says, I hid a treasure chest in the Rocky Mountains of Wyoming in 2010. On June 5th, someone I did not know, the finder, informed me that they had found the chest in Wyoming, in the exact location I had hid it in Wyoming in 2010. So for me, this is enough. It's a court affidavit. He has sworn to it. That baby's put to bed for me.
For you. Let's hope other people, maybe.
Okay. So we have Wyoming. Step 1 is done.
In the park.
So for me, the next step is in the park. So we have Wyoming. So let's get into the park.
Let's go into the park.
We've already gone over this. I'm not going to go over it in detail, but I believe there is a statute that goes over if the solve was shared, that Jack and/or Forrest could be held liable. We won't go over this. We're just showing it if you guys want to go back over this. Let's go to the next slide, though, because it's a little bit of the reason why, which I have not covered before.
And here's one from Oztesh, I guess is the name, but I'm not exactly sure. So K-Pro, didn't Forrest Fenn say he never went back to his special spot because it was too far to walk? So how did he hide the treasure at the Madison area? I'm not sure I understand the question. Wherever Forrest hid it, he says he never went back. And that will hold true for Yellowstone National Park. I don't think he'd ever been back to the park since he hid the treasure, wherever he hid the treasure. You know what I mean?
I think he said that he could not get back. Like by the end, his back was so bad. I don't think he could have crossed that.
He's not walking through that water.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm not sure that fits. To me, that actually is in line with a Madison solve. But okay. All right. In the park.
Okay. So I discussed this with Hermione, and Hermione is one of my 3 sources. But both Forrest and Jack, this person knows both of them, and they were made aware of the statute. Forrest directly from the park. I'm not sure if Jack heard it directly from the park or not. He won't answer that question. But I will be meeting with park officials, I'm hoping by the end of this month. And I'm hoping that they will do an on-camera statement that if the treasure chest was found in the park, they would go after restitution as well as the treasure chest. That is the reason I believe with this information, I narrowed that it was in the park based on this information.
So you're making the conclusion that because Jack won't release it, the reason is because it was in the park. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Because of this statute and this person that knows Jack was told about this statute and he could get into trouble on it. It's not just a random.
But could I play devil's advocate and say the same would hold true for any other national park in the 4 states?
Yes.
Okay. So
my information was it was Yellowstone National Park.
Gotcha.
I knew it was in the park a while ago based on a secret source.
Secret sauce. Named
Hermione.
So, and that's huge. If we can get this park official and actually get some of them to make an official statement about the Yellowstone treasure. I don't think anybody's done that. I know we've all surmised what would Yellowstone do, but if we could actually have somebody who either worked there or works there to actually say what they would do, that would be pretty huge. So
I'm working on it.
It's just unfortunate tonight's the last Forrest Fenn treasure found video because you have closure. So I just wish we could do more, but we have to switch over to the Beacon Star. So
no, we're going to Conspiracy Bridge.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
We still make more videos, guys. We still got to figure out what's going to happen to the treasure chest. Okay. 10-mile stretch. So now you've condensed it to Wyoming, and now you've condensed it even more to Yellowstone National Park. Now we go even further to the 10-mile stretch of the Madison.
Yes. Okay. And some people can jump over that park part because if you know that it is Madison and you know, and we'll get to that in one slide from the Condor. And if you need any more closure or any more connection that Jack is Condor and Condor is Jack, it's 100%. There's only a few things I'll say is 100%. That's one of them. So we know that there is only one 10-mile stretch and it's kind of in a rectangle. That is the Madison. That's the Wyoming stretch. So here, compliments of Minotaur Merino. Here is that stretch. It starts at Baker's Hole and it ends at Madison Junction. So we're now down from Wyoming to the park to a 10-mile stretch in the park.
Okay, so let's address this from Odorous Gnomes. As it looks like you're going out of your way to screw Jack over, trying to meet park reps to go on the record. WTF. No, we're not. Jack will not come out and confirm it, so Jack's in the clear. Jack is doing what I think he needs to do legally. Just because if we were to say, hey, Yellowstone park officials, if it was in the park, what would you guys do? It's a hypothetical. We're not. And
he has done his due diligence in the statute to not reveal it, so he would not be held liable for it. So it's actually the opposite. We're here for Jack. No need to thank me, Jack. No need to thank me, whoever said that. It's okay. We're here for you.
Okay. Yeah, wouldn't it be something if Minotaur's Moreno's Excel spreadsheet of Caliente was correct? But we'll never know. So, okay. Is this something that was there? Or is this a map you bought?
This is a map. So I made my way into there might have been someone with me. You can say if you want to be said. Every single bait and fishing and fly shop in Yellowstone. And I was looking for that Minotaur map because I heard that it might be around, and it was not there. But this one was, and it is actually a map of the Madison from Yellowstone to Madison Junction. Isn't that just perfect? So it's, yeah, pretty cool. So that was a map that we kind of followed to do some of the sleuthing research that we did.
Now, Chasing Indy says, it would be nice if Dark and Gallatin Ghost could get credit for this as well. They were the original researchers. So I don't know about that, but hey, anybody out there who had a 9 Mile hole solve over, the last couple of years since we've been doing shows, yeah, I give them all credit. I can't name everybody individually because I don't know everybody.
Yeah, and I have at the end all the places that I picked some stuff up. If they picked it, it's kind of like when you had from Sam Smith, the medicine wheel.
The GPS, yeah.
Right, and then there was another searcher that was like, I said it before him or at the same time as him, and you just hadn't got it from him.
Right.
I'm not knocking Dark or Gallatin. They are just not who I've engaged with. But there's 650 posts on Thor.
Right.
So these are just the ones that, the only thing I will say is there are many, many, many searchers that have engaged at Madison, and maybe even in this exact spot. And I mean, the person that needs, I think, a lot of credit is, oh my gosh, Diggin' Gypsy. We'll get to that. Man. Okay, let's keep
Mike
going.
Nealon says, so is that Forrest Fenn's good map? What do you think? Is that the good map? Maybe. The park map of Yellowstone? Maybe.
Well, this one was
2003,
so this could have been it. Yeah.
Okay.
Condor and Shannon. So where did we get this? Condor said, sounds from your post on Reddit that you're in my stretch of the Madison. So we know that he was searching on the Madison. Shannon also indicates, and there is a reference for anybody that wants it, at the 11-minute and 45-second mark, that the Madison in Wyoming is a 10-mile rectangle. So that's even more so why we've now gone from Wyoming down to the park, down to this 10-mile stretch of the Madison. I think the most straightforward thing is there's only 10 miles of the Madison in the park in Wyoming. Boom. I mean, we're done. So, but I wanted to give all the context, all the additional data points. So Shannon does discuss it. She does not say Madison and this is it. She just says, oh, there's that 10 mile. I think I know it within a 10-mile stretch.
Right. Okay. The boots on the ground vehicle in Baker's.
So we know this vehicle was found at Baker's Hole, which is on the Madison. That's what starts that 10-mile stretch. So even more so that this is a Madison solve. See what we're doing? We're narrowing.
Again,
different data points.
This was their vehicle or not. These are all just different things we put together. These are all postcards on the bulletin board of the Thrill of the Chase. 10 miles narrows down to 4 miles. Now, how does that happen, K-Pro?
Here, why don't you read this one?
Oh, all right. Narrowing the Madison. Condor states the 7-mile bridge to 9-mile hole on Reddit. If you intend to check the Madison, be very careful crossing the river between 9-mile hole and 7-mile bridge. There is deep silt, which can be extremely dangerous to wade across. Ron, secret source, knows water hole to 9-mile from Jack. So there's somebody that talked to Jack and basically water hole to 9-mile. Right. For me, 99.99% Wyoming on the Madison in the park, 4-mile area between Big Bend to 7-mile bridge. So in other words, you have to believe Jack is Condor. If you don't believe Jack is Condor, well then I guess
oh my gosh, you have to. That's the only thing that it's so.
A lot of evidence.
There's a guy that's on Reddit from 10 years ago following Jack. There's if you click on his financial stuff, it says Jonathan gets credit for this. I mean, there's 100 reasons why it's Jack. Sorry, it's Jack.
Yeah. So, and he posted, if you intend to check the Madison, be very careful. So in other words, he's saying, this is where I looked. Now it's interesting. He says it's not there, he kind of gave up, but people can change their mind or go back to it or whatever.
We're going to get to, I have a better explanation.
We'll get to that. Okay.
You'll see. So you can go back. Never mind. Okay. So you can see by this nifty little $11 map that I got. Wouldn't it have been cool if it was 17? But anyway, we have now narrowed from a 10-mile radius to a 4-mile square. And these are the fishing points between there. This is a fisherman's map.
Fisherman's map. Okay.
Waterhole 9 Mile is key. The only 2 creeks in the Madison Canyon are those 2 places. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See,
The only
Vertigo
2
knows.
creeks in the Madison. Okay, and because the poem mentions creek, paddle up your creek. I mean, that'd probably be something we would look at as searchers. But
Yes.
okay. NMH. What's that stand for?
9 Mile Hole.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought we went to a weird Scientology thing for a minute. Okay, NMH. And that's how we get level 2 T square. Okay. Oil tree. What is this all about for those who don't know?
So I don't think you can read that, but if you could, it would say something
I can
like,
read it.
okay.
Okay, so this is from Reddit, right? You actually took a screenshot?
This is, thank you, Ben. No, Ben did.
Okay. And it says, has Forrest Fenn ever been associated with anything oil field related? I've looked and can't find anything that really says yes or no. Working on a solve where HLAWH refers to oil and water, since heavy crude tends to not flow. Oh, heavy loads and water high. They were trying to say refers to oil and water, since heavy crude tends to not flow. Thanks in advance. And I'm assuming you're talking about the smoke on the tree bark. I didn't even catch it the first time. And that's all it says.
Okay, so what he does, it says deleted post, deleted post. He responds and says, here is a tree at my location, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And he calls it the oil tree.
And let me see. Go ahead.
If you look at the picture on the right, that's it doesn't matter that it's oil tree, but he believes up at the top, that's an O. In the middle, that's an I. And then on the lower right, it's an L. O-I-L.
I, and then here there is a little thing that goes this way. So it looks like O, I, and L. Now, I don't think anybody purposely put O-I-L. It just looks that way. So they call it the oil tree.
Well, and that's not the important part. The important part is, where is that tree? Where is that tree?
Is it in the Madison somewhere? Is it 9 Mile Hole? Where is it?
It's, see where that little circle is down at the bottom
right
left?
Here.
Right there. Right where a camera is set up. Oh, right where a camera is.
So in other words, that proves that Condor has been in this area because they recognized that tree and said there's a tree with OIL, what looks to be OIL in it. So more proof.
Found the exact tree. Okay. I did have somebody send me, I actually didn't get the picture of the tree. Somebody sent me the tree. I'm respectful and thank you for that. I know what it's being used for otherwise, so I'm going to let you do the rest of, I didn't put that video in here. I know you allowed me to. Thank you to Jens who sent it to me, but I don't, enough people sent it to me. I know it's there and I know exactly where it is. I've seen all the videos. I didn't put my own eyes on it, but I did get this along the way.
So, Jerry, I'm going to give my thoughts on the end on what I think of the 9 Mile Hole solve. So, hey, hang out till the end, and I'll give my 2 cents.
Yeah. And some people, every step of the way, are like, oh, my gosh, no. Who cares if Condor did this? And we're not going to convince you. This is just how I got geared up to head to, yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay. And again, we're just showing how this proves we're Jack Search. That's all at this point.
Right.
9 Mile Hole.
So Harry, remember Harry, Ron, and Hermione? Harry has met with 2 members of Forrest Fenn's estate, or just people associated with him, associates, real estate family, and they have confirmed 9 Mile Hole.
Wait a minute, hang on. Read that again, K-Pro.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. You can read it.
It says Harry, the secret, wherever this source is, and we're not going to reveal who it is, guys. I don't even know who it is. So K-Pro does. This Harry searcher met with 2 members of the Forrest Fenn estate / family / associates. And 9 Mile Hole is all they could give in specificity, but confirmed 9 Mile Hole. So you're saying somebody that is close to the family confirmed that 9 Mile Hole was the correct area?
Yes. 2.
Wow. Okay. Now, I know some people are going to say you guys made that up. You just added that. But we don't just make stuff up, guys. If we have a source.
And this one, there's a specific reason why it hasn't come out. And I think eventually it will come out.
Packer Jack says, just checking in from Lambeau Field at the end of the 3rd quarter. Peace and love. Can't wait to watch what I missed tomorrow. Cheers. All right, Packer Jack. Looks like the Packers are going to take it down. So thanks for tuning in. And the seats you had were awesome. So have fun at the game. Okay. And then we skip to Shannon's search partner.
Okay, hold on. Let's let the chat digest this as they ask questions. Why would they confirm it to Harry? It's 100% hearsay, I can tell you.
Right.
Why would they confirm it to Harry? There is specific reasons that you will see later. I will tell you that I think, and I have a slide on this at the end, a lot of this is going to come out eventually. And I think there is some reasons why stuff's not coming out now. There is a lot of context outside of these couple of people, but I trusted them enough that Tom says that statement is huge. Yes, that statement is, but it was enough for me with all the other context to go check it out more. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, Shannon search partner, 3 search locations. One was 9 Mile Hole, 2430 from her video. Slough and Medicine Wheel were the other 2.
Yeah. So when Shannon said my search partner, was within 100 feet of this or whatever, this is one of Shannon's search partner's locations.
Okay.
I knew of Slough and Medicine Wheel. I didn't know of this one. There you go.
No, okay, hang on. People are saying, you're saying somebody at Harry's forum claims to have this info. No, it has nothing to do with that forum. That's hilarious. Harry
No. I just, how I have Mr. F off and then I had Mr. Turd Source.
Yeah.
This was just a fun way of naming the 3. I put the 3 amigos and then Manny, Mo, and Jack, and I just thought it'd be more fun to do Harry, Hermione, and Ron.
Has nothing to do with that website, everybody.
Yeah, no.
Okay, circumstantial, but still evidence. 5 to 6 cameras are set up in this area related to the chase with both audio and video recording the 9 Mile Hole area from parking lot to the exact blaze location, or at least what people believe might have been the blaze location. So, yeah, that is circumstantial, but somebody has thought it important enough to set up cameras, right?
Right. And Adam says you really can't put too much weight behind those cameras. That is true.
Right.
And that's why I put the caveat of circumstantial, guys. So that does not mean a lot, but I'm trying to just give you full context because it might mean something to someone else. I'm just trying to state the facts, Adam. I'm trying not to bias it with my own confirmation bias. Hi, Jack. Okay.
Sludneck points out, if the family had threatened Forrest to tell everyone it was a hoax, can we really trust anything they want to confirm for the community? Yeah, that's a valid point, I guess. I don't think the family has the chase community in their best interest, put it that way.
Nomadic just said those aren't their real names. Okay. You're
Somebody
right.
say coffee. Here we go. Okay, ready to go to the next slide? Oh, and then so K-Pro's saying for her, 99. Oh, I see what you did there. 9 Mile Hole, 99.99% Wyoming on the Madison in the park, the 4 miles area between Water Hole to 7 Mile Bridge and 9 Mile Hole. So that is the area to focus on. And that's where K-Pro went boots on the ground.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Odorous Gnome says, okay,
other evidence.
Other evidence. And this is just fun. I think a couple of you may lose your mind. Just roll with it. This is other evidence. Go ahead.
And then real quick, can you just say again why Shannon's search partner was significant? What does
so
that
Ryan, in the video, and we put the minute mark, she says, so Jack had told Shannon where the search area was. I don't have specificity. I don't know what was in that email. But during the video where she kind of shamed us, we love you, Shannon, but she kind of shamed us about moving on. She said, you know what? My search partner was within like 100 feet of this area.
Yeah.
I put out at the time, because I knew her search partner, that I knew he was searching at Slough Creek and Medicine Wheel, but really Slough Creek is what I knew. Well, he had another location, which was 9 Mile Hole. Just context, just information that all confirms from different data points. See what we're doing here? Different data points.
Right. Okay. Other evidence. AGK. Jack says where Forrest went alone from the thrill of the chase where he went alone, 33 and 41 mark.
Yeah, we could listen to it, but really, I just more give it to you. This was you as the search community that's watching. We know that Jack says this is a place where Forrest went alone.
Forrest had that. I mean, that's
right.
Forrest
that's what Jack says that he thought was key to solving this.
Oh, gotcha. So basically, I see. I got you. Okay. Did Shiloh ever deny knowing the location? Well, not to me. He didn't.
Not to me.
What about you, K-Bro?
But I never asked him, do you know the location? I hope Shiloh drops in, and Zoe and Jack and Jack's search partner and anyone else that wants to drop by and tell me if you liked it. Thumbs up.
Oh, let's check the old thumbs up, thumbs down meter, everybody. We've got 52 thumbs up and 35 thumbs down. We're on our way to 100, everybody. Thumbs up if you like the information. Again, you don't have to agree with the information. The question is, do you like how the information is being presented? You don't have to like me or K-Pro. It's not about that. Okay, rumblings and ramblings. Want me to
Okay,
read it?
so
Okay.
yeah, but let's put a little bit of context because some of you might not know what Rumblings and Ramblings is. I can tell you, I did get it just before the Solve, maybe 6 months or so. Rumblings and Ramblings was basically Forrest diary, if you will. And it had a lot of the stories that you see in TTOTC, but it had a lot of other stories as well. So Rumblings and Ramblings, a variety of searchers had it. Dale posted it once Forrest passed away. But it had lots of stories related to where we believe now the final solve is. So go ahead.
Okay. This is from Forrest Fenn's Rumblings and Ramblings. Here's the section written by Forrest. They used to lock the gates to Yellowstone Park at 10 o'clock at night. No one could get in or out after that time. So Dad would take the car just inside the gate and park it so we could get up at 5 a.m. and go fishing before the gate opened. The Madison River in the park had 3 good fishing holes: the Slow Bend, 5 miles up, the 9-mile hole, you guessed it, 9 miles, and the Water Hole, about 11 miles. These were our secret names, and the great fishing spots were also top secret. It was important that we beat my grandfather, old Charlie Simpson, to these fishing places, especially the 9-mile hole that had room for only one fisherman. It was not just a casual thing, but real competition that sometimes bordered on insanity. There were arguments about it. Old Charlie's emotions on that subject were usually overstimulated. In 2007, I wrote this for Peggy. It was published in the West Yellowstone News, Flywater. What follows is the passionate story of Flywater and the thrill of the chase, which ends in, and when my tackle box is closed at last and the caddis hatch is gone, I will rest through all of time and space, pillowed down and scented in, and with a smile that comes from remembering the special things that brought me to that final place, many of which were knowing you were there somewhere waiting for me. So we know that that's something special, and that he mentions the tackle box, fishing related once again, maybe. I mean, it is fishing related.
So Mike, Paul is asking, so the GPS solved previously where the coordinates were uncovered is wrong?
Maybe, probably. It just hell of a coincidence. Oh, we're going to touch on GPS here in a minute. But
third source.
Yeah. Yes.
Thumbs up for
like those were wrong.
third source.
Maybe. Yeah. It seems like they were wrong.
Okay. Next slide. Okay. So this is just more other evidence that seems to point. Go ahead.
And this is, you're pointing out what we just read.
Yes.
You're pointing out what we just read.
Well,
it was important that we beat my grandfather, old Charlie Simpson, to these fishing places, especially the 9-mile hole that had room for one fisherman. Okay.
Yeah. One where he went alone. Jack said in TTOTC where he went alone. Let's keep going.
Slip up. The California Sunday Magazine. Such ravages of time are often on his mind now that he's nearing his 85th birthday, though Fenn remains matter of fact about the prospect of his days coming to an end. If I get Alzheimer's, I'm going to flag my calendar for 6 months from now and do it my own way, he told me. Hopefully at my last dying gasp, I will still go back to that final place and die at my favorite. He trailed off, perhaps wary of giving a clue. His favorite
fishing spot where he went by himself at 9-mile hole. Come on.
It's so easy now, huh?
Yeah. Well, Carrie's like, I mean, how many more nails are you going to put in this coffin? No, there's plenty to go. There's plenty to go, my friend.
Yeah, we know that, Gross. We're not saying this is new. We're just putting it all in the PowerPoint. So people, another thing that kind of makes it fishing related.
Yeah.
Okay. Douglas Preston. Now, these two are interesting. So I'm actually going to play two clips from our Douglas Preston interview. Is there anything you want to say about him, K-Pro, first, or just play him?
Interesting is all I'll have to say. Some people were really into...
No, go ahead.
They kind of speak for themselves. We can speak after.
Okay, check it out, everybody. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's turn it up. There we go.
Do you believe knowing Forrest would help you with deciphering the poem?
No, I don't think so. I think knowing him now would not help. Forrest is a very cagey guy, and he's very careful when he speaks about the treasure, very careful not to let anything escape. And he's even with his friends, he's that way, even with his family. He really is, he's really keeping that location secret, and he's really shutting down any clues that might escape in this casual conversation. So I don't think I have any particular insight into where the treasure is. Now, if I was a fishing buddy of Forrest going back 30 or 40 years, I might have more insight into the areas that he spent time in, but that's not the case.
Oh, so if you were a fishing buddy of Forrest back in the day,
He wrote the Ford in once.
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm just
Yeah.
repeating the key emphasis. So Douglas says if you were a fishing buddy, doesn't help now, but if you were a fishing buddy of Forrest back in the day, you might know where the treasure chest is.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, mic drop.
But that's not all. And thumbs up for these Douglas Preston clips. Here's another one.
So you wrote the Ford in Once Upon a While, and you indicated that you think there might be hints in that book. What makes you say that?
Well, there are hints in Forrest's life. I mean, it kind of goes without saying that if you can figure out where Forrest went every day of his life, at some point, I know Forrest discovered this hiding place a long time ago. And I believe he'd been thinking about it for a long time. So naturally, if you delve into his life, his history, where he went, his favorite places, one of those places has got to be where that treasure is hidden.
And I really wonder if that is the logic that Forrest was talking about when he said a deep thinking treasure searcher using logic can determine an important possibility related to the solve. I wonder if that was it.
Maybe. Okay.
All right.
Just context.
Yeah, we're just showing you guys things. You guys put it together the way you need to. Okay, here we go. Nez Pierce.
So if you guys remember, I had a solve and Forrest asked me, where's your solve these days? And I said, Nez Pierce. And do you remember what he said? He said, Nez Pierce what?
Right.
And I was like, Nez Pierce Trail. If you take he goes, what's your WWWH? And we walked through it. Why did he say, it made me always believe Nez Pierce was a part of the correct solve. Well, you guys can read all this later. If you don't know, 9 Mile Hole is on the Nez Pierce Trail.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that.
You can read all that if you want, but that's basically what it says.
No, we don't need to. So it's interesting that, so a lot of people thought Old Santa Fe Trail down in New Mexico. But what if
they're wrong?
This trail. There you go. Well, obviously it's not New Mexico, everybody. Oh, Nez Pierce, we have a little more.
Oh yeah, that's just the rest of it in case you want to.
Okay.
It's basically Madison Junction from the park, that 10-mile rectangle. So there you go.
Paul Loria, thanks. Okay. Jack, regarding the spot.
Go ahead, Mike.
I figured out the location where he wished to die and thus where the treasure was back in 2018. But it took me many months to figure out the exact spot. This treasure hunt was the most frustrating experience of my life. There were a few times when I, exhausted, covered in scratches and bites and sweat and pine pitch, and nearing the end of my day's water supply, sat down on a downed tree and just cried alone in the woods in sheer frustration. And then getting to the wilderness location where the chest was is not dangerous in the conventional sense of the word, but it very quickly can be when people do not take basic precautions or go out in the wrong conditions. It is not an appropriate place to become a tourist attraction. To me, that means the stream, the river.
So the first paragraph, in my opinion, and this could fit a lot of places, so it's not 100% concrete that it's exactly the spot, but I can tell you, I had everything but the mosquito bites that he talked about. My travel companions did not. Buck is in shape. He had no problem. I struggled a little bit. I see Jack and I kind of the same, Flatlanders kind of thing. And the second, I think, is absolutely, you can get turned around, wading across the river, all of that. I wouldn't say it's dangerous, but you just need to be prepared. So it fits the location. I give to you, though, this is in the other section because this does not solidify it could only be 9 Mile. Just contextual, people. Just contextual.
Okay. Dale's blog email from 2012. You want me to read it?
Yes.
The searcher describes, hey, Forrest, I think I may have figured out where your secret fishing spot is. Begin it at Madison Junction where warm waters halt. Follow the Madison down and cross it at the creek. Follow the creek up as it winds through some hills and look for the marker the whole time. I was reading that the fish migrate from Hegben Lake up the Madison to the Firehole Falls and Gibbon Falls. The creek I'm thinking of also flows into the Madison, so fish would swim upstream until it comes to a stop. I can't get over that picture of those fish and have never seen something like that. This is from the Thrill of the Chase. I know you were saying that nobody would find the treasure that wasn't looking for it. That creek would definitely be a good spot and fits perfect. I was wondering when the snow would be melted enough to go. And Forrest's reply is, take your fly rod along so that when you find the treasure, you can stop and fish in my favorite place on your way back to your car. It will be a good day if you can pull it off. F. The secret fishing spot.
And that's the spot that we show. Oh my gosh.
1109 Rudy Green, $11.09.
Today's a big day.
Super chat. I'm impressed with PowerPoint.
I impressed my big brother. Oh my gosh.
Okay. You thank you, Rudy. Thanks everybody for the super chat. So yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it's just one of those where is he playing with people or is there something to it, right?
Okay, keep going.
But that definitely shows that it is his favorite place on your way back to your car. I mean, it is for his favorite place, the 9 Mile Hole, the fishing spot, because of his family, because of where he grew up.
It was famous to all the fisher people in the area. Right. Yeah.
And I mean, when Forrest says, as far as I'm concerned, it's mine and mine alone, it doesn't mean nobody else, it's in a remote place. But again, not the 9 Mile Hole where the treasure was back there. But anyway, waders. Anybody see K-Pro put those waders on? Give a thumbs up if you saw K-Pro put those waders on and not fall into the Madison. Waders. Question. What kind of shoes? What kind of footprints did you leave? What kind of boots did you have on? Forrest Fenn. Well, if I told you that, you'd go out and find it. Mysterious Writings featured question with Forrest, June 16th, 2017. That was from that. Wearing waders in fast-moving water is dangerous, especially if you don't have the chest type with a tight belt around your chest that will keep most of the water out if you should fall. The rocks in most moving water are slippery and falling is easy. Your waders should have felt soles and not rubber. Don't take chances, and remember that in many cases, no can be a better answer than yes. So,
well, don't you find it interesting that during the hunt, Forrest posted this on Mysterious Writings. This tells you he wanted us to know about waders and to be, I mean, if he just put this in his rumblings and ramblings, that's very different. He specifically put this out to the chase community. And
nobody asked him specifically about waders. They just said, what kind of shoes did you have on? What footprints? Right. He says, if I told you that, but then he also adds, waders, by the way.
Right.
In other words, we're supposed to cross some water, which is probably the biggest shock to me. I didn't think you would have people cross water, but apparently I was wrong. So,
well, it makes sense why he didn't answer Sean from the flip side. I always suspected that, but I think it is now the case.
What was the question from Sean from the flip side?
Can you, since most people have gotten into the most dangerous situations of trudging over water, something like that, would you confirm that you don't have to go over water to get to the treasure chest? And he said, sorry, Sean, no, I can't answer that, which I think it was obvious. Yeah. So I can tell you, though, I did waders across and then I did my hiking boots back since I was so wet. Didn't matter. The hiking boots, I actually slipped a little bit. The waders, I did not at all. The wader, if I were to do it again, I'd do it in waders. And thank you to Buck who provided those. I did not go and buy those. Those were provided because Buck. And when you get to the end and Buck just like jumps up off the side of the he helped me up. He was a gentleman all along the way. He was a rock star.
Couple people in the chat are saying felt soled shoes are now banned in Yellowstone. Wonder why that is. No more felt. Got to be rubber, huh? Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and Lisa Smith points out your effort will be worth the cold. It tells us right in the poem. That could be going through the water, apparently. Put in below the home of Brown really did mean get in the water. Put in.
Treasure Hunter says in 2009-10, Forrest had no plane and let his pilot ratings lapse. How did he get there? He said he went alone and Peggy didn't know that he'd left the house the day he hit it. Peggy was with him. He was at Parade Rest. I'll save that story for Buck. You can share that story. I have the same one. We know where he stayed. We know when he stayed there. He drove up. That's the answer.
So at 79 or 80, Forrest went across the Madison as he'd done many times in his life, and he hit the treasure, and he made 2 trips. And what did he say? I got very lucky. Nobody was around when I parked my car and did it, right?
Right.
Okay. I think Forrest may have done it. Well, he said 2 times in the afternoon. So okay. Waders from Condor, and then there's the very interesting picture in the Thrill of the Chase. On November 20th, 2019, the Condor 2 wrote, because this guy has a very interesting mental construction of what is logical, and like all of us, you're breaking it somehow. I don't think you should doubt your analysis. The logic is airtight. Good job. The last drawing in the book, the only one that has no apparent connection to the text, shows Fenn and what appears to be waders. As Fenn writes earlier in the book, occasionally it's wise for the fox to dress like the hound. And this could have been a hint. That last page in the book could have been one of the subtle hints for sure.
Well, we know that he told Joe Lewicki that was the most important, he being Forrest, that's the most important chapter. The interesting part is not necessarily agreeing with Condor Jack, but this is what Condor Jack wrote in 2019.
Oh, and there's the 9 Mile Hole layout.
Yeah, so you guys saw us, me and Buck do this. We started in the parking area. If you can put your cursor and kind of go along the blue. So we started in the parking area. The red is cameras, the red little circles. So there was a camera there. That one was actually removed by the time I got there. I had pictures of most of the cameras. And so we decided to go down. I have two different wading in points. We decided to go where it was shallowest. That's on the very left. Jens brought up a great point, and this is where the Fisher people went through. If you look on the very right where it says large boulders, that's where Jens wanted to go through. And the reason that Jens wanted to go through there, he said, it's deeper, but the stream does not pull as hard with the current. Over on the shallow part, the stream pushes harder, but you're only about shin deep. We decided to go that way, which was the shallow part. So that's why that red line's there. There is another camera right there. That's where Jack's oil tree is on the lower left. Yep. Okay. And then that's where Jack's oil tree is. And then
if you guys watched the video from yesterday, the K-Pro and Steve Buck walk this entire thing, so you can see that. Yeah.
Right.
I thought this actually was a beacon star puzzle right here. It looks like one. Okay.
Goodness gracious. And then the red circle, that's that honey hole spot that had that 70 fish.
So this is what, go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is 9 Mile Hole. This is the spot in the Thrill of the Chase with the picture in the Thrill of the Chase with all the fish. We believe this is actually Forrest's spot, the one he would race. We know this is Forrest's spot that he would race his grandfather down to fish at.
And everyone knew about it. I asked people at Madison Junction. I asked people in the fly fisherman shops. Everybody knew of this particular spot.
But not Forrest Fenn. Did you ask him about Forrest Fenn?
Most people did not know Forrest Fenn. The one tackle group knew. They're like, oh, that guy that did the treasure chest, was it found? I mean, they just didn't even know. Yeah.
They don't care. They're fishermen. They care about fish. Okay.
And then you go straight up the creek. The creek, there's two creeks. It splits like a V. In the middle is the wet or the dry creek. Now, if you jump up, I should have flipped it. I'm sorry. But that blue line. Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's the dry creek, and that circle is where we have the opening in the middle of the island, and there are cameras on both sides. So you can see all the cameras kind of set up everywhere.
So here's the two cameras here, which are here. This is the Madison.
Right.
This is the actual water that makes this an island. You could call it an island, right? Because it goes around this way. And up in here is the area, we believe. I mean, there's two cameras pointing inward into this area.
Correct.
And if you didn't see the overlay, this is kind of a clearing right here. All the trees are just down, which is similar to that last page. They're not chopped down like with an axe, but all the trees are laying down.
And it is tough to walk anywhere but there. I mean, it's like you have to trudge through stuff or you're in the creek.
But wait, we still got the 200-foot searcher and Trump doctor to talk about. So hang on, everybody. If you need to go get some more coffee, go get it. All right.
I might need to get something too. Go ahead.
Okay. The 200 feet and the 500 feet and the relevant facts. The treasure chest was located approximately, again, this theory, right, of what that circle we just showed. The treasure chest was located approximately 500 feet from the road. From the parking of 9 Mile Hole, okay, bro? 500 feet. So from where you park at 9 Mile Hole, it's about 500 feet to the treasure. Okay?
Yeah, it's the road, but yeah.
So when Forrest says, I know people have been within 500 feet, well, that's why. It was 500 feet from a road that a lot of people just traveled on in Yellowstone. Right. And found in the dense forest area. Nobody was going to stumble upon it. In other words, there's no reason to go back up in there unless you're looking for Forrest Fenn's treasure, really. It has a natural barrier, most likely the river crossing. Not how many people that have been to 9 Mile Hole actually cross the Madison? be a good poll.
I could see a lot of people crossing, even Fisher people did. Maybe you would go up 25 feet to pee, but you would not go. I mean, you're talking about 200 to 300 feet up. You would not just be going up that area as a random person or even a searcher. I mean, you would if you're digging gypsy, you go all the way to the top, or Rudy. You'll see some pictures that are pretty darn cool.
And Forrest says it's a remote location. People wouldn't normally go up there, and you wouldn't. I can't.
And a lot of people are saying, no, it's a parking lot right there. It goes from parking lot and open to remote and dense.
Yeah.
Quick.
Watch the video, guys. If you haven't seen the video, watch the video that we uploaded yesterday. Must have an area to park that then has a barrier of water hole to 7 Mile Bridge.
So,
okay.
I tried to search down, were there any other possibilities that fit in the water hole to 7 Mile Bridge that would correspond with the 200, 500 foot radiuses, but marking points. And you'll see, we went to each of the parking lots, and thank you to Rudy. She gave me all of that, or he gave me all of that information as well. He had some better pictures. We couldn't find the one video. Yeah.
Okay. You checked each parking lot, right? What you just said. And then for you, it further confirms 9 Mile Hole. That's the area along the Madison that fits.
Again.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike wants to know, why would the park have cameras there in such concentration?
I do not believe the park has cameras there.
And there it is. Okay. Yeah. Nick Sparrow says, why the need for cameras? We don't believe the park put those cameras there, guys. And that's probably all we're going to say about that.
Other people, just hit our Facebook page. Other people are commenting.
There's other people that are speculating, but
no, they've heard from the camera owners. So I
don't know that. So I'm not
staying out of it.
Okay. Football size area. So again, guys, at the bottom here, this is the Madison. The blue dot is the fishing hole.
That is where you purge up.
Yeah. Okay. Where you go up. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay. I'll have to call him back. So this is the two creeks that go up. And then right here, you see how it's kind of a X, the logs make an X, which I'm not saying means anything, but there's a clearing right here on this, what we call an island, because the river that goes around it. Now there's clearings here and here and here, but this is on this island where the two creeks go around.
So I called the island the clearing
somewhere in the middle here.
Right. I called the island the clearing, or the clearing the island, and that confused people. So I'm going to go with the information we have already out there. So within the yellow, it's called the island, and within the white circle, we'll call the clearing.
Well, CG Jock's got a good point. The poem will lead you directly to the treasure chest, not a football field. I don't see, no matter what your area is, how the poem leads you directly to the treasure chest. We'll
get to a solve. We'll get to a solve later.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's one everybody's going to like, but
right. Parking lots. 7 Mile is way too public. Cars on both sides. You're saying there's parking on both sides of the Madison?
Right. You take the bridge over, or there's cars on both sides. There is no remote area, in my opinion, as we drove by this. Thank you to Rudy for the pictures. They were much better than mine.
Okay. Water holes possible, but much longer stretch to get off the trail. Meaning you have to go through all that?
Yes, you have to go through that. It does get dense, but it gets dense a little bit further out. This is where that creek is. So this one was a possibility.
Super chat for 9 Mile. He says, where I live, you can't hike anywhere without seeing a game camera on a tree. Okay.
You can't hunt in the park. So that's the reason.
There would be a game camera. Okay. Right. 9 Mile. And I mean, that looks pretty desolate. That looks pretty rough. Like, hey, I'm going to go across there and just look through all this.
It gets rough really quick.
Okay. Now, I don't know if it matters, but DS says the cameras aren't broadcasting. They were recording still shots. There is no cell service to broadcast. Yeah, I don't know. So
I know, and I don't care. You can ask others. I got the information of how and why, and I don't understand all the technology, but I have enough information to know they were throwing these satellite. You can ask others. I don't care to comment.
Okay. 200, 500 feet. From the parking at 9 Mile Hole to the treasure chest area is 500 feet. What's the 200 feet?
On the other side of the natural barrier, which is the river.
Here.
So, Move your cursor. I can't
Oh,
see
sorry, I'm on the wrong screen.
it. Right there.
So
Right
from
there.
the parking lot to the end is 500 feet. From here to the edge of the river to the end is 200 feet,
Yes.
roughly.
Yeah, and it's actually the road, not the parking lot. So I'm a little off.
Yeah,
there.
okay, from the road.
But-
So when
But
Forrest
they've
says, I know
actually
people,
like searchers have actually tagged it and flagged it and got it down to within feet. Oh, and they have little flags and all of that. I didn't show those.
well, I think we're going to pretty soon here. We're going to get into the 200 footer. Forrest said, I know people have been within 500 feet. Well, there's the road of 9 Mile Hole. That makes sense. Now, when he says, I know somebody's been within 200 feet, and everybody went, ooh, how do you know that? And he said, because somebody sent me a picture, right?
Oh, you'll see the picture
Okay, here we go.
momentarily. In my
So that
opinion.
means if somebody was to send him a picture anywhere in this area, they would be roughly 200 feet.
And there is a picture in that area.
Okay.
Walking up that same creek I was on. Okay. So some people are like, but wait, how is this referenced in TTOTC? Well, here you go.
This rock is this rock right here, which is right at 9 Mile Hole. So that is a picture of Forrest, right? Oh, no, that's his dad, father.
That's his
Okay.
dad. That's page 123.
So do you think this place might be a little special to Forrest when his family used to fish there? Right. But to me, it makes sense. To me, the area makes sense. I'm not talking about the 9 clues, but for me, the area makes sense. Forrest told Joe Lewicki that most important chapter, which was this page or the chapter?
The chapter, which included
Okay.
the illustration.
At the end, down trees and waders. Now, see, here's my interesting take on this, and that is if this is Forrest that knocked down all the trees, the clearing is got all the trees knocked down. And I'm not saying Forrest knocked them down. I'm saying he's giving us a hint here. All the trees are knocked down. He's got waders on. He's got an axe. And does that mean he made the blaze with an axe in a tree? And if that's the case, to me, this is the blaze. We're looking for something that looks like this. Jack said there was a hint to what the blaze was in the Thrill of the Chase. Could it be that we're looking for a moon shape or a bird shape or both on a tree due to this page right here? I would not say that's a crazy thought, personally. What do you think, Capron?
I would say there's not enough evidence to say that exactly, but it sure is interesting.
It's an
Yeah,
assumption. Yeah, it's a guess. But the canopy of stars right here, the trees are knocked down in this clearing. Now around this are the lodgepole pines, right? But yeah, it just seems to me if I know this page and I know the Thrill of the Chase and I'm out looking for a blaze and I see the carving of a moon, I'm gonna go, that's it. Let me look at the base of that tree and find out what the heck is there. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
You're not.
That's right. Tom
crazy.
gets it. That's right. My storage auction buddy. Okay. Here we go. Page 123. Where are all these pictures from, Capro?
So this is out of TTOTC, and I've color coded it for everyone's ease. So you can see at the upper left corner or somewhere on the corner of each of those pictures, and then the Minotaur Merino map. You can see each of those are mapped out along the Madison. Maybe this was the gentle nudge. And the one that is circled in red, that is where we believe the treasure chest actually, yeah, like Rudy said, is this the big picture? And if you fold in, I didn't put a picture of it. I didn't fold it in, but if you fold it in, it actually says key. So this could be the key page. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ben came up with that and I really liked it. Yeah.
Another conspiracy theory, another theory to the clues.
I think it's just interesting. I had not mapped all of those out. It's kind of like a line, and there you go.
Now, Nick says Watkins Creek is on that page, the line coming from Hegben Lake. I don't know.
Yeah, which is
That's
up on the
here.
very
Right
yeah,
here.
Hebden's actually, so the purple one
Right here.
is
Yeah.
Hebden, and then it goes all the way through. And there's
Got
a great picture that
Madison
Cynthia
Junction,
has
all the way to Hegben.
at
So do
Watkins.
they let you is there canoeing in Yellowstone? Can you go on the Madison? You know how some people go tubing, inner tubing and all that? You just
I'm
float
going
on
to
that?
say no, just because I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone there. Maybe in the
Right.
fishing or the swimming holes, but I saw no one. So I'm going to say
Yeah.
no.
I'm surprised they just let people cross the Madison. I understand fishermen want to fish, but anybody, a tourist can just walk across the Madison wherever they want. To me, it just seems like the park would be like, yeah, somebody's going to get hurt. Don't cross the river. But then how do you prevent fishermen from going where they want to go? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not allowed.
So
Sam
interesting.
says
This
not allowed.
page is all right. I mean, and this is the crazy part is could it have been in front of us the whole time? And I think a lot of people can't get that concept through their head. I mean,
Well,
Forrest
think
says
about-
there's hints in the Thrill of the Chase, but they're subtle. These are overt. These are right in front of our face hints. You know what I mean? Or at least the locations are right in front of our face. So I don't know.
Yeah. No boats on the river or rafts, Lisa Smith said.
Yeah, because I figured. All right. Now this one is kind of interesting. There's a lot of people at the page 99 think that's a map, and does that look like this? And Forrest drew the X and then said, "Up there's the other X." I don't know. What do you think, April?
There's a better one that overlays it. I think it's possible. I don't know. I think there's a lot of areas that winding river bend that could be. So a lot of people believe in it, though. I know Diggin' Gypsy believes in it. A lot of people believe in it. So, yeah.
I needed to
hold
see
on.
for myself.
JL Canyon said, this may be a dumb question. Which direction does Madison flow on the map? Towards northeast or northwest or southeast? It goes northwest, and that is down river towards West Yellowstone. That is actually the direction that it goes, which is opposite of what you drive in. Just kind of interesting. I didn't know that until I got out there and really thought it through.
Right. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so Rudy says the hints are something different. Forrest had a specific definition for a hint that he told us. I agree. So we're going to see. So this is the point in most of this I had before. Some of it I didn't, but most of it I had before. So this was when I said, Mike, I need to go to Yellowstone. So, and he's like, really? So for me only.
Again?
For me only, this is where it was 100% Wyoming. 99.9 Madison, 100% in the park, 99.9 this 4-mile stretch. I wanted to rule out the other parking lots. And there was a small window. It's snowing as we speak right now. I knew there was a small window. I wanted to go check this out, see it for myself. So, next slide. Road trip. So I asked Mike, and of course he said yes, because he's wonderful. There was only 2 weekends that it would work because of my travel and my work and a lot of things. First, of course, I'd want to go with Mike first. That was not possible with kids and chaos and all the stuff.
I would have fell in the river. I'll tell you that right now.
It would have been so fun to film, though.
Yeah, for you guys, sure.
Cynthia said she wasn't going to be able to make it until the end of the month. That changes. Everything changes. But at the time, the one thing that Mike asked me is, would you please not go alone, especially if you're going to go over the river and all of that? And I said, okay, I'm going to try to find someone. Shannon and I had been talking a little bit back and forth. I knew she was going through, and she already openly talked about this, a divorce. And I'll just say a rough patch in her life. And so I messaged her and said, I know this is a long shot. I promise not to probe you on that email and make you tell me and just harass you for it. Let's just go. Let's just do a girls' trip, and we can just start new chapters of our lives. And she said yes, which then it was like, she sent me her like flight, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, do it. And I hit mine. Mike hadn't even gotten home yet. Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. And then you guys all met up there, so it was great.
Yeah. So it was kind of a girls' trip, a bonding trip. I know Jens and Steve, we broke away from for a little bit. I reconnected kind of with Cynthia. Cynthia and I and Shannon did a dinner together. Shannon and I spent a lot of time. She had a daughter named Sammy. I have a daughter named Sammy. I believe God put her in my life exactly at the right time, that there was some things going on that she really helped me with, of just life. That girl has been through 1,000 things more than I have. And she's just a good, fun person to be around. Okay. Keep going.
Rudy says, guess what is exactly between Fennhaven and Oho?
9 Mile. See, I can't even put all of these things. Yeah, because we could be here all night, and we're already over an hour in. Okay.
Jens was still filming for his documentary.
Yeah, he lives there.
That's how to rebuild our relationship, but I did not film with him. Aw.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, you met up with him, and that's what this was about, for you to film for his documentary. I am considering, and we have made some informal agreements that we're going to talk to eventually. We got to the point that we were talking and even positive. So let's not move mountains except for finding the spot.
I heard Jens. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You heard Jens what?
I heard Jens paid you $100,000 to go up there. Is that true?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
got a super chat. Speaking of $100,000, Indiana Jones says in your 2019 interview with Forrest, he pointed at Mike and said, "I'm way ahead of this guy. Forrest isn't collecting heads, is he? LOL." Indiana Jones should be ashamed.
Yeah. Buck says, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Grandmother's pineapple pie blaze. I will say I was the grandma. There's no question. I think Steve, I felt like was a lot like Justin at the GPS solve. I think he could have run that thing probably twice by the time I got myself up that creek. So thank you for being patient. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for being like, oh no, I would have totally fallen off that log straight into the creek. That wasn't bad at all when I'm sitting there just cursing because my shins have been nailed against a down tree. And then he just was laying there sleeping by the time I got up to the top. It was hilarious.
But wait, we're still going to get to the 200-foot searcher and Trump's doctor.
Yeah,
maybe
we're getting there.
We continue tomorrow. No, we're going to get to it today. And there's the Yellowstone crew. Let me go full screen for you guys.
Yeah.
Looks like you guys had some fun, so that's good.
There was definitely some shenanigans is all I will say.
Shenanigans. Okay. Somebody said that was Jack right there with the hat. Is that true?
That was not Jack. Jack is not in any of these pictures is all I will say.
Okay. Some funny stories. I don't know what Shannon's trying to make Jens think, but there we go.
She was very convincing. And when she wasn't with Jens, so I think the one thing that you have to know about Jens, I think has relocated for his life up there. He had been there like months and months and months. So the things that we were talking about, he was just very much like, no, you are wrong. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you that. And Shannon is not a shy woman. I would not put her as meek. And so when she had her opinions, yes, it was Operation Shenanigans.
Shannon's in the chat. Hey, Shannon. Glad you went. Glad you made the trip. And you guys all had fun.
So she was not shy, especially with Jens, who I won't say Jens is pretty confident himself, but I will
Jack took the pictures and the camera. All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just saying this was one of the funniest ones because it was actually happening like this. And I think this went on for about 4 or 5 minutes. And finally, I actually think Jens was just so tired from being boots on the ground for months. He just finally, okay, Shannon, okay. So
that's funny. Oh, digging gypsy. Here we go, everybody. Maybe it's breaking news to you. And just because a lot of people have asked, World Series of Fenn weekend is going to be February 5th and 6th of 2022. So just get out to Vegas. It's going to be at Bally's. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk about GPS. We're going to talk about Beacon Star. We're going to talk about 9 Mile Hole. If all the Redditors would just show up, we'll talk about Reddit. Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. So I just wanted to put that up real quick. All right. Here we go. Scrapbook 50. November of 2013. Wow, all the way back in November 2013. Searching for money galore. Treasure searchers are an inventive lot and industrious and energetic. I guess it comes with the genre. A pretty blonde-haired woman from Georgia has made the long driving trip to New Mexico, Wyoming, and Montana more than a few times. Last summer, she spent 4 days treasure searching in one spot on the Madison River. Sleeping in the car doesn't bother this gal, and I think the Grizz are afraid of her. By the way, this is Scrapbook 50. This is Forrest Fenn speaking that typed this, okay? A recent email from her illustrates why we don't need an equal rights amendment in this country. She bought a 67 Ford for $400 so she could tear it up and sell the parts. The radiator alone is worth $450, and I suspect she knows about which she speaks. Just think what she's going to get for the grill, generator, air conditioner, tires, rear view mirror, and taillights. If I were a betting man, I'd bet on this woman. She has a pet rooster named John Wayne that she might sell to raise additional funds. Her neighbor brings her corn, and he wants the chicken. And then there's 2 Omegas. Interesting. What do you think about this, K-Pro?
It didn't really hit my radar before. I'm a little slow. I'm getting there. I mean, So, yeah. I think it's everybody talked about this, the double, all of that. It really didn't hit context until you might have heard about some shenanigans when it comes to the emails with Diggin' Gypsy, etc. So Diggin' Gypsy was nice enough to send me those. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Diggin' Gypsy's like, no, sorry. Yeah. So
Okay.
what we're showing here is that Forrest was in touch with Digging Gypsy and he wrote a scrapbook about her. Right.
Right. And so that'll become important because let's look at some of the emails that Diggin' Gypsy and Forrest with pictures that were happening. Yeah.
Okay. Pictures from Scrapbook 50.
Yeah,
So they
that's
show the
just
Ford and they show a rooster. So now the rooster, though, is that her saying she knows where it is or what?
I wondered when I saw that.
Or does she really have a rooster? Maybe that's true.
No,
Maybe
she really had a rooster, I think.
Oh, she did. Okay. Okay.
Next slide.
Emails about 9 Mile Hole. So let's see. This is back in 2013. Forrest Fenn says, and where will you look this time? 9 Mile Hole again or Hegman Lake? And again, this is to Diggin' Gypsy.
Right. Now start on the right. Start
the bottom, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So Diggin' Gypsy tells Forrest Fenn back in 2013, I found those pieces by 9 Mile Hole. The little animals dug them up. My little expedition party is getting wore out, dug up all around that horseshoe rock. But my little sister found her glasses, so it wasn't a wasted trip, hopping logs and hiding from bears. Guess we'll stick to looking for rocks. And then Forrest's response is, Marty, where exactly did you find them at the 9 Mile Hole? Did you follow the creek to its source high up on the mountain or where? Are you still up where you found them? And what are the little pieces?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see. There's more emails. Okay. Did you go all the way up to the creek to the source? I have looked at that creek. Oh, okay. So hang on. So I got to read the bottom first. Diggin' Gypsy says, we found some right here by the rock your dad stood at. Then more up past creek where the source is, the very scary spot. And Forrest says, did you go all the way up the creek to the source? Again, he says that. I've looked at that creek from the air and it goes up very high, F. And then Forrest says, Marty, those obsidian pieces are conchoidal fractures. Google them, and were made by Indians in the preparation of tools, maybe arrow points. They also are called waste flakes or spalls made by reducing a core. You may have happened upon an ancient campsite. I am sure the obsidian came from Obsidian Mountain there in the park, but also it's possible that a source for the stone may be nearby. I am sure you know that obsidian is a glass that was made by melting sand deep in the earth's belly. They are black because they were melted in a reducing atmosphere, meaning that no oxygen was present. You may have found an important site that could be 12,000 years old. Keep looking around there for projectiles, hide scrapers, or other tools, F. And then Marty says, oh, we found the blaze of obsidian, smiley face. Now we're walking it up, trying to find the source it came from, past lots of bear poop. And Forrest says, if you hang that skull on a tree, everyone will think it's a blaze and they will come and get your obsidian, F.
Okay, so this is when she found the arrowheads on the top of the creek where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next slide after that. So here's some pictures she had sent him. Does that look familiar?
So this is a picture she sent. This is the area, and this is exactly where you were. And is this Diggin' Gypsy? Is this her?
That's Diggin' Gypsy's sister. I don't know who that is, the far one. I believe that's her sister.
Gotcha.
Because she's a blonde and that's a brunette. So I'm assuming that's her crew that she talked about. So keep going.
Okay. More pictures.
This was at the top. These are the different ones. These are the pictures that were attached. And this will become important later, but this is a blaze at the top, rock blaze. This was an overlook. If you went to the top of that creek, this is the overlook to it.
Okay.
Next slide.
Okay.
Again, these are pictures that she sent Forrest.
The Forrest. Okay.
Okay. And now let's compare the picture she sent Forrest to the location that we currently are looking in. Here we go. So to the left, this is Diggin' Gypsy's picture at the top of the creek. To the right is Rudy Green's. I'm not going to compare actual trees, but we're talking about the same location.
Well, when I first saw these, I thought those aren't nothing alike. But then I realized the picture here is more close in. You got to get down low. Like the way this slope is this. Yeah, it does match. This is this. It's just there are two different angles. So at first I was like, and then I'm sure
and Ryan says those are opposite directions. That could be it too. It's the same area.
Okay. Okay. And there's this, and then that's where you were. So the exact same trees.
It's the same creek. It's the
And
same
what's
tree.
interesting is this is from 2013. Is that right?
Correct.
So those trees
Correct.
have been there that long, down that long. Okay. And the Cowlazars was there as well, apparently.
I had to clip it out of our sorry.
No, that's all right. So she says this is it. This obviously is that spot at 9 Mile Hole.
So that's what Diggin' Gypsy said on the left. On the right, if you Google Earth, the creek area, that island,
Mhm.
that is, they might look alike, in my opinion.
Okay. Just for fun. Oh, somebody brought out what's the elevation right there in that spot. Does anybody know the elevation of 9 Mile Hole? Fun little tidbit from Cynthia. Well, wait, did we put it together that about Diggin' Gypsy, or is that later?
No, that's go back.
I didn't see anything that said 200 footer though.
That would make her the 200 footer.
Yeah, that would make her the 200 footer. In other words, Forrest said, I know somebody who's within 200 feet because they sent me pictures. Those are the pictures that Diggin' Gypsy, I'm sorry, I thought you spelled it out in a slide. Those are the pictures that Diggin' Gypsy sent. And if that's it, I mean, she was obviously within 200 feet. So it's possible that way back then that Diggin' Gypsy was a 200 footer when Forrest made the statement.
Yeah.
Possible. We're not saying it is 100%, but it sure could have been.
But wouldn't it be really interesting? And I asked, I mean, Diggin' Gypsy, I don't think is vengeful or like someone stole it from her and Forrest put her in a different area. She told me, this is just what she told me. I'm not saying anybody else is anything, but I'm just saying in general, she was like, I always search this area. I wasn't directed out of this area. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I got stuff happening too. Okay, fun little tidbit from Cynthia. Trump's doctor searched Obsidian Cliff. Forrest told K-Pro, Cynthia, and Chasing Indy, which all had corresponded in some way with Diggin' Gypsy, but especially emphasized to Candy, as Diggin' Gypsy's search partner, find Trump's doctor, you find the chest. You're telling me Forrest actually told them, find Trump's doctor, you find the chest.
And all of us.
Okay. Why did he word it that way? Let's follow some logic. Trump's doctor fished at Obsidian Creek. Diggin' Gypsy found obsidian at the final treasure chest location. The theory is obsidian was the key word. So if you find the doctor, you will find the chest. If you find the obsidian, you will find the chest. Diggin' Gypsy found obsidian at 9 Mile Hole. Find the treasure chest at the location where obsidian was found. I mean, maybe I kind of get it. It's kind of like a play on words, but that's kind of the things Forrest did, right?
Yes, I don't think there was a way to really know until after the fact. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting he said that. Find Trump's doctor, you find the chest. I've always heard that, but I never paid any attention to it. Okay, so now everybody, we're going to get into the 9-clue solution. What are the possible 9 clues in this area? Okay. The full solution? No, we don't have a full solution. I think only Forrest knows the full solution. But let's see what you think, K-Pro. The only part 100% confirmed.
Check your text again.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. You want to read this?
Yeah. Okay. So the only part that is 100% confirmed, in my opinion, is 9 Mile Hole. So good night, Shannon. Thank you for so much fun. It was awesome. So the remainder is conjecture. I actually have some issues with the 9 clues, the leading pieces that take you to the 9 search locations or the 9 clues. I have put them in green, yellow, red. And that's just for me, but there's lots of discussion that's happening right now in relation to that. So Jack confirmed, though, that the exact spot does not matter. It's the general area that was important. But does that matter to everybody else? Yes, there's some that are really trying to search down the exact spot, and that's important. So Randy's here now. Let's start back. I think we're on slide 64. Can we go back?
We haven't hit the
slide
GPS yet, Randy. We have not hit it yet. You never emailed me back either. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Likely 9. Okay, it's not confirmed. Gotcha. In my opinion only. This is K-Pro's opinion, everybody.
My opinion.
Remember the PP PowerPoint right here. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so in my opinion, what is green to me, which is there's enough evidence and actual evidence that the treasure chest was found near 9 Mile Hole, Condor's Jack. It's in Wyoming. It's in Madison. It's at 9 Mile Hole. The 200, 500 foot, the whole barrier thing relates to this spot. The Nookers, this is their spot. The camera owners are a searcher, and it's related to the chase. Let's put it that way. The statute in the park for me, we've been told on our Facebook page that there is scientific evidence that has been attempted to be secured at the spot to get us all closure. And there will be more in the documentaries. That's all green for me. The tree blaze, I tend to believe it. I don't have solid evidence of it. And
well,
then,
here's the thing. Also, let me interject real quick. Dark
Sure.
says, so if Forrest has said it would be tough to not find the chest when within 12 feet, then if Digging Gypsy is a 200-foot searcher, she didn't have the blaze identified correctly. But what if the blaze was actually damaged, like Jack says? What if back in 2013 the blaze was damaged? Maybe it was hit by lightning. Maybe there was, I don't know. But what if it was not findable unless you did a grid search? That really sucks for Digging Gypsy and for any other searcher that was in there.
yeah,
But that's
they
a
should get half.
possibility.
They should get
That is a possibility that you're not going to find it unless you grid search it like Jack did.
You know what? This is the moment that I go, when I saw that picture of Diggin' Gypsy's sister, and that means
Right.
Diggin' Gypsy literally walked past it, in my opinion.
In
I
that
go,
Mhm.
I am glad I'm 10 miles away. Even though
Yeah.
I was only 10 miles away, I'm glad I
Right.
was 10. I walked by the, 100,000 with, or what was it? That U.S. treasure hunt. How much was his? Was this 100,000?
Oh, no, 10,000. The one here at
10,000.
El Dorado Park.
I
in
died
Vegas,
about 10,000. And the
under
Vegas
super
Rock,
pen.
10,000. She
Yeah.
walked by. Like,
I know.
there's no doubt
Possibly.
in my mind she's the
Yeah.
200-foot searcher. So, anyway.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's get
Okay.
back.
Okay. Couple
Yeah,
more
I mean,
slides.
that's just the way it goes. I mean, Forrest
Yep.
didn't think of everything. It's not a perfect
But-
treasure hunt. Sorry, everybody.
So
It's
what's
just-
important to me is the red, the actual solution in the exact spot is in the red for me. That doesn't mean that I think it's untrue. I just don't think there's enough hard actual evidence to say it is the spot confirmed with 5 exclamations. Everything in the green, I would say confirmed with 5 exclamations.
Mm.
So,
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Okay.
Red, green, yellow.
yeah. So on the left, so this was what you guys saw yesterday. Many people that believe that Clue 1 is WWWH's Madison. I actually lean towards more Ojo Caliente. We could talk about that in a minute, but there's also Terrace Springs. There's a few others search locations. I actually have a slide on this that comes up next, why WWWH. 1 is not important, but 2, if it is important, why it could be some other areas. But the leading theory is Madison Junction is WWWH. The second would be Canyon Down is Madison Canyon. You drive exactly 4.2 miles from Madison Junction, and it is not far, but too far to walk. You're driving the canyon. That is only a hint because you are getting to the put-in, which is at 9 Mile Hole. That's why the little girl from India could not get past the first 2 clues, because she now needs to know a little bit about Forrest to get there. I'm just saying IWII. I'm saying what Jack said, not what I believe. I'm saying what Jack said. And I'll get into that. I'm going to go over his quote about WWWH. And then we have the Homa Brown, which is the famous fishing hole. If you look on the right, if you see 2 asterisks, those are where cameras are set up. No place for the meek. I believe it means that you need to wade across the river. The end is ever drawing nigh, looking across the creek. No paddle up your creek is the dry creek bed that actually goes right to this clearing. Heavy loads are the down trees, and water high, creek on both sides of the island. There's some competing theories that say heavy loads is large boulders and water high is the Madison River. Take either one. It gets you to the same blaze, which is right at that 500-foot mark from the road, and you look quickly down, and that's where the treasure chest location is.
I mean, and I guess maybe a lot of people are having a hard time with 9 Mile Hole, the fishing spot. You know, that fishing spot. Everybody knows that, right? But not everybody realized the treasure chest was 200 feet from it. So he used a very popular fishing spot that everybody in Yellowstone knows about. Yes, he did, but nobody knew it was 200 feet. People looked, and unfortunately, if the blaze was damaged, they could have been over way back in 2013 if the blaze was actually there. And that's just a guess on my part. Packer Jack with a $5 super chat says, this was an incredible amount of time away from family, expenses, and PowerPoint prowess. Thank you and congratulations for staying positive. Hey, thanks, Packer Jack, and congratulations on the Packers beating the Lions. I will say,
which Rooster Cogborn says, I love these guys, but this is a bunch of guesswork. Yes, and send all complaints to Jack976299949699792, but that is just random.com.
Did Gypsy not use a metal detector? I thought you couldn't use a metal detector in Yellowstone.
You cannot in Yellowstone.
So that doesn't mean you didn't, though, but I have no idea. I have no idea what Digging Gypsy did.
DS1980 kpro3@aol.com. Can you email me and we'll exchange? Because if you try to put your email in here, it won't let you. It'll block it out. So kpro3@aol.com.
If we can believe Miles Sandwich with the $5 super chat says, if we can believe Jack that the fake blaze was 1,000 feet from the treasure chest, why can't anyone locate this fake blaze? Some cruel searcher made this according to Jack.
Because Jack said that he dismantled it.
Yeah, he took it up and down. So nobody else could find it.
He took it down.
Jack. Yeah, sorry.
Must Listen Good says a nuance, but the home of brown is likely the creek itself, the spawning grounds, home of brown trout. I think it's all those darn trout. That was crazy. That was famous. That was incredible. But tomato, it gets you to the same. I mean, we're all within a 200 feet area.
Yeah. How did Jack know it was there and not somewhere else? Well, he didn't. That's why he grid searched it over 3 weeks. Think about it, guys. He's saying he walked through that crap for 3 weeks looking for it until he found it. Stuck in Chaselandia. The parking lot and where you enter the Madison are above the home of Brown and not below. What is below? Yeah, we're going to talk about that, right? The 9 clues. Yeah, then that is a problem with the solve. So I'm driving along Madison Canyon and I have to get in the water below the home of Brown. If I don't know that fishing hole's there, I'm going to drive right past the home of Brown. The problem is
exactly what Forrest said people did.
They walked right past it, he said.
Right.
Which could be walked right past, drove right past. But you had to have the thrill of the chase. For all you poem purists out there, I hate to say it, but I think this solve, if this is correct, meant you had to know Forrest. You had to know his family, his history. You had to know about the rock with his dad standing in front of it. You had to know that they ran to that fishing hole to fish. You're not going to solve it. And maybe that's why the little girl in India could only solve the first 2 clues.
That's exactly.
She could figure out where Warm Water's Halt, figure out Canyon Down. But without reading the thrill of the chase, you're not going to know about that fishing spot. And then that to Forrest, that was the home of Brown. Some people aren't going to like it, and that's okay.
Yep. Okay, next slide. So let's talk a little bit about WWWH because many say we got to rule this out because of okay. So Alan K sent an email that says, was there physically warm water at the warm water location? Jack said yes, because everything in the poem is straightforward. The water has to be warm to him. Was the water actually warm? And we know that dip your toe in it. I mean, it has to be warm. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, it's funny because I went over at Madison Junction and I said, that's not warm. And Buck said, that's warm. Like to a fisherman or to someone out. Right. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm. He said to me, and Mike reminded me of this. He's like, did you get in it? And was it warm? Like river bathing is best. Get in it. So there are some thoughts that it's actually Ojo Caliente. Mm-hmm. And Ojo Caliente is the warm water, and it ceases to exist at Madison Junction where the actual river ceases to exist. I think that's interesting.
Halt in Madison Junction. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. I guess.
But there's also Iron Springs, Terrace Springs, Maiden Grave, Firehole. There's several to choose from. Now, he says there's only one WWWH. That's where you have to start. I think he's ruling out other states, perhaps. I don't know, though. I don't have a good explanation. I think, Jack, you could add to this PowerPoint. I will give you full citation and credit if you can define WWWH for us.
Well, Carrie Galloway says that if this was a fisherman's poem, then there has to be a fish in a fisherman's poem, and that was Homer Brown. I mean, there's rumors that Forrest said Homer Brown is not brown trout, but I can't speak to those. And it just, if the whole fishing angle is right, it's his favorite fishing hole. Of course, Homer Brown is a fish then. I know people think that's too easy, but it wasn't that easy because it took 10 years. It's just, could it have been that easy if the blaze wasn't destroyed or...
To me, like I said, the solution is not important to me. Let's go to the next slide and I'll tell you why.
Indiana Jones, the $5 super chat says Forrest said his doctor gave him 3 to 5 years to live. It'll wake you up, open your eyes. I imagine finding the chest would shorten life expectancy. How dare you? I just do want to point out that we have 82 thumbs up. Everybody, we're going long tonight. Even if you don't like the info contained, thumbs up for the PowerPoint, thumbs up for the information. And you guys can all make your own videos. That's right, Randy. You play with those numbers and make your own decision. Was WWH critical? No, question mark.
And the reason I say no is because Jack said this. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that Jack said this. Did you reverse engineer WWH after determining the general area that Forrest wanted to die? I think I saw the correct WWH as a possibility, but I did not feel confirmed until after I had it figured out the later clues. You really have to see the big picture, which is that Madison River, if you go with the big picture of page 123. And Mike, I'm throwing this out to you. As a treasure hunt creator, and you've made more than me, I've only made a few. People do not solve the treasure hunt the way that I thought they would solve the treasure hunt. Remember when we did the 3 words, 3words.com or whatever it was?
3words.com. 3 words give you a specific location. Yes, on this website.
They did not solve it. They actually backdoored it in a way that we didn't think was possible.
Right.
I think Forrest had it backdoored in a way that he did not think was possible. I don't think Jack solved this in the way that Forrest thought it would be critical to find the WWH, follow the clues, and get to the spot. Jack found a slip up in a particular video. He backwards engineered it, and he grid searched the area. This couldn't be further from what Jack actually said for the actual how you solve it. But that's not to knock Forrest. You just don't know how many different minds look at things in different ways. That's my only explanation. Is it a good one? I don't know. There you go.
Well, going back to Homer Brown real quick, Nomadic Madman points out, didn't Forrest try to get Cynthia to retract what she wrote in her book about brown trout? Wouldn't it be horrible if Homer Brown is brown trout and for whatever reason Cynthia got it wrong from something he said? He's like, hey, you can't say that. Or Forrest said it wrong, right? Or Forrest straight up lied. I hate to go there, but I think Forrest messed with people in different ways.
Ryan, the competing thought is what was 9 Mile Hole slip up was my favorite, and then he trailed off, which was 9 Mile Hole. There is a video somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it for this in time, that he said favorite, and then he trailed off as well, but I haven't been able to locate it.
Lisa Smith points out, K-Pro, we waded across where you saw the 2 fishermen. We waded into Firehole on that side, and it is warm. It is warm water. So the way I look at it is if we look at the poem and it says put in below the Homer Brown, if I'm driving along the Madison, the Madison flows this way. Okay. Well, let's do this. If I'm going along the Madison, right, I'm driving, the Madison's on my left-hand side, and I know where that fishing spot is. I know that that's Forrest Fenn's favorite fishing spot, one of them. How do I know? Because it's in the Thrill of the Chase. And I say, that's the Homer Brown. This poem is about fishing. So I park at 9 Mile Hole. When I put in below, I'm going to put in to the right. To me, that's below the Homer Brown, meaning it's the way of the stream. The Homer Brown below it is below in the stream. So I'm going to cross right there. K-Pro and Steve, they went further up because they just thought it was easier to cross. But I guess the point is maybe it really doesn't matter where you cross as long as you get to where the 2 creeks go on the other side. And I know some people are like, what do you mean it doesn't matter where warm water's halt? It doesn't matter to Jack because he has the treasure chest. Jack isn't worried about what the 9 clues were because he doesn't care. It matters to all of us. And I think it's very important that it finally comes out that we know if this was a good treasure hunt or not. We always thought Forrest was this master puzzle, clever, and he is all that, but his clues may not have been the best. That's the only way I can put it. I'm way behind in the chat, but Tom with a $5 super chat says, thanks for the hard work. Let's pay Jack's search partner for a full solve. Y'all raise money for the copper frame. Why not for what we all want? Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. As far as paying people to have an interview and stuff, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of talk about that, but it just seems to never happen. So, no, but Eric, remember, that's what Jack said. That's not me and K-Pro's opinion. Yes, Homer Brown matters. The 9 clues matter. The search community wants to know what the 9 clues were. So people want to know were they on the right track and how close they were. I just don't think we're ever going to get them. If Jack's not going to come out and confirm them, because guess what? Jack might not know what they are. And it doesn't matter because he still found the treasure chest. He was able to figure out where it was, grid searched it, and found it. And that's the backdoor solve that K-Pro was talking about.
I think he figured out Homer Brown, but you guys have shown me more than anyone. I have to get statistics. I got to get facts before I say something. I don't think there's enough facts on the 9 clues yet. If that soil analysis comes through and it says that's at least something. Right now, we don't have that. So that's the only reason I say that.
Gregory's got a good point. He says if you put in below the Homer Brown, that creek is to the left of the hole, right? And you would put in below to the right of the hole. But once you're on the other side, you're going to find it. I mean, once you're on the other side of the thing, and we can go through the poem. Once you're on the other side, it becomes no paddle up your creek. You're looking for a creek, and it's a dried creek because that's why there's no paddle. So I think it just puts you in the general area, and you still have to look around. But that's why there's no exact precision about this. If followed precisely,
what Mike doesn't like about
there isn't. Yeah. There's nothing about this that's precise. And now some people don't like that the Homer Brown is on the other side of the creek. But think of it this way: what if there was a big sign that said Homer Brown?
Okay.
What's that?
That is downstream of.
Oh no, it's downstream, but people don't like that it's on the other side of the creek. In other words, it's not on this side where you park; it's on the other side. And does that matter? I mean, to Forrest, he could have been like, "You're supposed to know that was a Homer Brown because there's a picture of my dad with a bunch of brown trout. That was our favorite place to fish." And think of it this way: if you're driving along the Madison Canyon or whatever the road is. You park at 9 Mile Hole and there's a big sign that says Homer Brown across the creek, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's Homer Brown and I cross right here. I don't think it matters that it's on the other side of the creek. That's just my opinion.
Ryan brings up a good question, and I've asked Jack this, I believe. Why can't Jack say what the blaze was if it was likely destroyed? Exactly. Jack.
Say it again. I missed it.
Why can't Jack say what the fake blaze was if it was destroyed, or the blaze was if it was likely destroyed?
Well, you know why?
Because he doesn't like you.
No, because what'll happen is 1,500 searchers will come out and say, I made it. That was mine. And I was in New Mexico, which means Jack was in New Mexico. And then one of those searchers is going to be right. One of those searchers is the person who actually made it. And then that's going to verify the location. And Jack doesn't want the verification of the area. Minotaur Moreno, you just might have been right about Caliente, my friend. I never believed it back then, even though I did buy your Excel spreadsheet. Minotaur with a $5 super chat says, walk along the birthplace of the national parks, ford a river, find a trout honey hole, and play in the woods for a day. That's a day well spent, in my opinion.
Boom.
I agree. And when Forrest said, get out there in nature, get the kids off the texting machines, I think he just meant in general. Whatever state of the 4 states you searched, he just wanted you to get out and look for it. Another one from Miles Sandwich. He says, fact, Jack only found 1 fake blaze in this area, ? So only 1 other cruel searcher left a blaze over there. Thoughts? In other words, nobody else left a fake blaze.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
I think some of the fake blazes were probably obvious fake blazes. I have a picture of Rudy in front of a $5 bill that was put up with fishing twine. I think that's obvious. This one actually stumped him in a way. Like, could it be what did I show the one with Diggin' Gypsy about the skull? And if she put it up on the tree, then somebody's going to, I don't think I shared that one.
Email you. Did He's like, if you nail it, people will think it's a blaze and they'll come take all your obsidian.
Randy wants to know, did anyone mess with my cameras?
And of course, he means the ones in Denver on his token. Okay. Now, Must Listen Good says, why did we need a flashlight? In my opinion, because if you get lost and you're out there overnight, there were safety tips that I think people, why did you need a GPS in case you got lost? Why did you have to take a sandwich? Because you might be hungry. I think Forrest just interspersed things where people think it meant had something to do with the solve, and I don't think it.
So Treasure Hunter asks a question. If these clues are right, how could a person walk confidently to the chest as Forrest has said?
Exactly.
There's 2 explanations, in my opinion. I'm sorry if I'm repeating.
Go ahead.
The first is the blaze before it broke. There was a tree that was probably the tallest tree in that whole area that had been downed. And that is actually where the cameras pointed to, and the ground had been dug up underneath it, and the roots were showing. If that was the tree and there was something on the top of that tree, like you said, like maybe it's a horseshoe, maybe it's a little dove, maybe it's an F, whatever, I think it would have been easy for a treasure hunter to see that because you knew what you were looking for. The second thing is, because this is wrong. I don't think, like I've said many times, I don't I do not, it's not that I don't care about the 9 clues. I would like to, so here's the 3 things that I think we have. The final location, the 9 clues, and was Jack nudged or a conspiracy? In order, general location was number 1 to me. Nudge gate is number 2. The 9 clues is number 3. I know a lot of people, number 2 is those 9 clues, and they're spending a lot of time on that. I'm not. That's why I put him in yellow and red and all of that.
We need 9 more thumbs up, everybody, to get to 100. Super chat from Indiana Jones with the $5 super chat says, in surviving the game, there was a room in the cabin where the hunters kept human heads in jars.
What?
I have no comment for that.
Okay.
Yeah, most people, they're different than you. They want to know what the 9 clues were.
Yeah.
They don't care about the treasure chest because Jack already had it. They want to know what those 9 clues
So
were.
Steve Mueller says, was there evidence of chopped down trees 60 to 70 years ago? No, that was when the fire was. They were down trees, but it was due to the fire.
But then, see, there's inconsistencies, though. What if Forrest says it could take 900 years before somebody finds it?
But it'll get harder every year.
Right, but if this was the popular area and all that, didn't he think somebody would be back there looking pretty soon after the book came out, like digging Gypsy?
Can I give you a quote from him?
Yeah.
There are some complications to this treasure.
Yeah, that's true. How deep is a hole, everybody? 9 miles.
9 miles. 9 miles. Yeah. Oh, wait, we're not done with the PowerPoint.
No, we're not done with the PowerPoint.
Okay.
But I will just point this out. At the end of the book, when he talks about he has the dream and he thought he was, who is it, Captain Kidd, whoever the pirate is. This was a pirate treasure hunt. Meaning go to the big rock, turn left, walk 20 paces. That's how his poem worked, in my opinion. And especially with this particular solve, that's how it worked. Landmark to landmark to landmark takes you to a blaze on a tree. So when he says Captain Kidd on Gardner's Island, this is an island, right? That kind of fits, in my opinion. The cover of Once Upon a While shows a little kid fishing. It's a fishing hole. Cover of Too Far to Walk shows a picture of the Madison fishing. It's all fishing related. Go ahead, Capro.
Nate, can you put an at KPro and say it again? Because I have gone back. You missed a super chat, but it's so far back. Yeah, you know what?
Jones,
you're fired.
Miles Sandwich, Minotaur Moreno.
Yeah,
and that's as far as I can go.
So if you could say it again, Nate, just put an at KPro.
Yeah, you don't.
Make sure.
You don't have to super chat again.
You don't have to.
Sorry about that, guys. I was behind.
Gedelkin, did you see burn trees in the area? Oh, show, as Snoop Dogg would say.
Burn trees, you saw?
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if it's lightning that could have messed up, made the tree go down.
It was a very, very huge. No, the down trees were from the 1988 fire, I believe. That whole area was scorched. That's why there were so many new trees that were just little, like quarter size everywhere, because so many trees got downed. Super chat. Okay, so.
Hey, thanks everybody. We hit 107 thumbs up. I appreciate it.
Thanks, right.
And thanks for moderating.
We're not done. We're not done.
We're not done yet. You said Nate. I don't even see who that is.
Nate. So. Okay. Nate.
Oh, Nate. Okay. I'm trying to look. Yeah. Put it again. I'll look for it, Nate.
It's Cowlazars K-Pro. I think you'll
there it is.
The super chat. There we go.
Yeah. Then post it again because I did miss it and I can't go back. The chat scrolls and I'm unable to go back. So sorry about that, Nate.
Okay. So Adam asked maybe the poignant question. Have I missed talk about the Nook? There is a spot that's in the video that Buck actually found, and he's going to be on next week and he can talk about his experience. And Adam, in the video that we put for homework last night, there is a tree that is downed. It's the largest tree and it's on top of the other trees. So I think it was downed the latest of the other trees. I'm not in that field, so I don't know how long ago. Was it 5, 10, 20? I have no idea. It didn't have a lot of bark on it. I don't know if that matters or not. At the bottom of that tree where the 2 cameras are pointing in is exactly that area. There was some obsidian. There was obviously a dig out, or there was an impression in the ground, and there was a bunch of crap put in, meaning bark and limbs and things. It wasn't like, it seemed to stand out.
Was there a Chaseopoly in there? No. Is there one there now? No, there isn't. K-Pro did not leave anything behind. Is that a true statement, K-Pro?
That is a true statement.
Steve may have left something you gave him, but K-Pro did not leave anything behind. No, I'm just kidding. You guys didn't leave anything, right? No trace. What's it called? No trace. What's the thing you do? Leave no trace. Yeah. All right. Carrie Galloway liked it. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the PowerPoint, everybody.
Yeah, Adam, it's in the video. He's saying, is there a picture? I don't have a picture. It's in the video. I was wondering, curious about water high. So Nate, for me, or what I've read, from the great work that everybody else is doing. Vertigo and Must Listen Good and all these guys, Rudy. Water high could be that you're getting in where the water is high and you're wading through. Or I like this one a little bit more for me. When the creek goes, when you're standing where the blaze is going to be, the water high, there is water on both sides of the area that you're eventually, that clearing that you're in. That's the one I like.
Yeah, Godelkin says high winds, maybe. I don't know. So I do want to bring up something that Milan brings up, and he says this solve is insulting to Fenn. The real solve is a masterpiece, but would cause controversy. And Fenn changed his mind, decided to divert. But that's not exactly what I want to bring up. Is whatever the true solve is, whatever you think it is, everybody thinks it's this special, awesome masterpiece, and I just don't think that's the case. I think this place was very special to Forrest for some reason. As simple as a fishing hole when he was a kid. But if we were there, not this, but whatever the real spot is, I think we would be like, it's just another bunch of trees in the forest. I don't think there's some mystical.
But if this is the place that
shrine in this area, it's just a basic thing.
Well, would it be insulting to Forrest to say that his most special fishing hole, where he used to race his grandpa and spend the last final days every summer with his grandpa, and we're saying that's insulting? That's special to you, Forrest? That's special? What are you thinking? That's not great.
The problem with that, Milan, is people are telling Forrest what can be special to him. It's Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt. Unfortunately, he's not here to explain it, but what's special to him may not be special to us, and that's okay.
But what did he say? He said, when we do find out, it's going to be
surprising. Right?
Surprising how simple it was. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think about when I walk in? I don't know if you were there this trip. I don't think you were. When Forrest and I think it was Cynthia, were sitting there, and his granddaughter walks in. God, what was her name? Starts with a P. Anyway, it was Piper. It was her 16th birthday, and he walked in. He goes, "Oh, make them a fishing lure right now." And she's like, "Grandpa, it's my birthday, and I'm going out fishing with my friends." He was like, just like him, and he was like, "Can you just tie one? Just show them." And she's like, "I have to go. I'm sorry."
It was special to Forrest.
Wait, we have Diggin' Gypsy. Diggin' Gypsy. Heavy loads is the logs, and water high is, yes, what Kpro said, Forrest said in my email, the source is high up there. There you go. From the 200-footer herself.
Hey, and congrats, Diggin' Gypsy. You were the 200-footer. I know you didn't find it, but this is interesting. Would Diggin' Gypsy have been the first searcher in this area back in 2013? There's no way to prove that, but hey.
But she did send him pictures.
Really?
Because, and that's what he said. Somebody said, "How do you know somebody's been that close?" Because they sent me pictures.
Yeah.
They said everybody thought it was Stephanie.
Game over, man. Game over. 3D Bronze with a $2 super chat says, "You ain't finding the chest there in the snow, even with GPS." Let me ask you this, Kpro, because you talk about this with Steve in the video. Do you think the blaze was low on a tree or way up high on a tree?
No idea. It would be a total. Okay, wait. Ready?
Yeah. Flip it.
Wait. Low. I personally believe, if I were to totally guess, and don't say Forrest said this, I don't have a secret recording of Forrest saying this. I personally believe it'd be high up on a tree, because if you've been wise, you have to see. There's a sea of trees. I wish I did more video.
I'm leaning that way too.
Where I'm like in the trees. The trees were dense. They were everywhere.
So Forrest, in my opinion, would have climbed a tree. I don't know. I'm not saying 80 feet, but maybe 10 feet, maybe 15 feet. Use the axe that's at the end of the book to put his blaze, which is a picture of the moon. And where's the moon? Up high. You look up for the moon. And then there at the base of that tree would have been where the treasure chest is. If you've been wise and found the blaze, a lot of people said owls. Owls are in trees. I'm not sure where they get owls from. Probably from the word wise. But if you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down. Indiana Jones with the $20 super chat. Bright orange says, in surviving the game, Gary Busey has a long story about killing his dog as a child and becoming a man. Dogs seem important in Forrest's books. The movie is about rich people hunting poor humans for sport. Surviving the game. All right. I'm thinking of a different one on Netflix.
Thank you for the super chat. That's appreciated. Now, here is a question that I just saw, and I would love the answer. And Diggin' Gypsy, if you want to come on next week, this would be awesome. Because Diggin' Gypsy, does this keep you awake at night, possibly being so close? I do have to say, The moment that my heart kind of sank is seeing the picture of, I believe it's your sister, it might be your daughter, I don't know, the very beautiful woman that was heading up that creek. And I just thought, she walked by it. That means you walked by it. You guys walked by it. I've walked by a $10,000 treasure.
It
I
happened.
haven't walked by a million.
She walks by me every day. You know what I'm saying, everybody? All right. Somebody's got a point in the chat. You like that
Shame
one?
on you. We are
Thumbs
doing
up for that. Quick way to-
serious treasure huntings going on right now. This is serious talk. None of this shenanigans.
Rooster says if there isn't pinyon trees at 9 Mile Hole, you must have quit. Even Johnny Cochran knew this.
Pinyon trees. Except Forrest said, I never meant to say that.
Yeah, I think he slipped up, maybe.
Yeah.
But where was the one I saw? Because they put it in. Oh, there it is. Justin Field says, how can the blaze be as generic as on a tree or a tree when Jack stated that if he ID'd the blaze for us, it could imperil the location? Suggest something more unique. I see what you're saying. So why can't Jack just say it was a mark on a tree, but not tell us what it was?
He has also said he can't tell us something because we would damage the area. I mean,
yeah,
shenanigans.
Well, what I was about to say is if it is something generic, people would think it's everywhere. And now he's imperiling all kinds of locations. Maybe. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Justin.
GCG, didn't Forrest say the closest was a man? Forrest said in one of the bookstore signings, if I told her how close she was, she would fall over and faint or something like that. And the pronoun was she. Diggin' Gypsy, in case you did not know, is a she. You see?
Well,
you see the connect. You see the connection. And there's pictures, and there's pictures where the cameras are. It all.
But the other thing is there's a man in that picture with Diggin' Gypsy's sister. So didn't Forrest say the closest person was a man, but maybe a woman also?
No,
Diggin' Gypsy, your sister, and some dude were there.
No, it's Diggin' Gypsy. Don't say a man.
I'm just, there's all right. Anyway.
Perhaps the two omegas are the two streams and the loop at the top representation of the clearing surrounded by water. Sure, why not? You guys are all you guys are like, everybody wants the 9 clues. No. So between the 9 clues and is there nudge gate? No, we can't even talk about that yet because we're not through the PowerPoint. Hold on. Did Forrest say that the closest person? Okay, I already answered that. What about sage? There is not sagebrush right there that I saw, but within a mile, I saw plenty of sagebrush. But did I search that entire area for 25 days? No, there was no treasure chest. I had no reason to.
Mock Smith says people will be surprised when they find out the location. They will say, why didn't I think of that? Such a tease. That's what Forrest said. And that fits this area perfectly. Just think about it, guys. 10 inches by 10 inches and all that crap that Forrest walked through. I mean, and that K-Pro walked through and Forrest walked through and Diggin' Gypsy walked through. But to try and find that, I mean, that's why if followed precisely will lead you right to it. I find hard to believe.
So Bobby D says,
no, it's just for him. It was easy. Go ahead.
Forrest was specifically talking about Stephanie in that quote. No, he used the word she. There is another she that actually sent a picture in that location. If Stephanie did as well, I might consider that. But right now, all evidence points to Diggin' Gypsy. My opinion.
The area,
you can have yours.
Area. Okay. Diggin' Gypsy says, I think the blaze was a pile of artifacts. And like a cairn. Yeah, interesting.
There you go. Everybody can have their opinions. That's my leading one. You like to play on words. You like to have what we call Fenn speak. But let's get back to the PowerPoint.
We're not even at the GPS yet, guys. Randy's GPS. Now he's a turd source.
Okay, so several people are saying the comment was about fainting was in reference to Stephanie. So he said Stephanie would faint, or he said she would faint?
He said she would faint. Okay, he said if he knew she would faint. That's what I remember. Anyway, I watched it live with everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
Madison Rat says, let's wrap this up so we can all go home. How dare you? All right, here we go. Okay, Gary Reicher, our friend in Destin. We're going to make it down there, Gary, someday, I swear, and see my family. And you. He says, water high and heavy loads are terms related to fly fishing. That led me to this area. I just never crossed the river. And I bet you that's a lot of people. So you're
a 500-footer. Gary, exactly. God, we need to make up T-shirts.
The blaze was not practical to remove. What do you say about that, K-Pro? If it was a mark on a tree, when Forrest says it's not feasible to remove, what does that mean?
You ready?
I'm ready.
2 things.
Yeah.
The tree was not feasible to remove, but the mark that he made could have been. There's step one.
So have you ever seen the people that go up into a tree? They have the spikes on their shoes or whatever, and they climb a tree. If it's up there where you can't reach it, how are you going to remove it?
I've done that.
Feasible to remove.
You know what? The person that happened to put the cameras up, they're up high enough. They had to do it that way.
I'm not going to be. I'm out there searching. I'm not going to be able to get up there. I don't have the belt and the spike on the shoes. So I wonder if that's what he meant. Maybe. And again, we're not cramming this down your throat, everybody. We're not saying this is it 100%. It's a theory among many theories. But when you figure out that Condor 2 is Jack, and Jack actually found it, Jack knows it leads to this area, basically.
It's funny because a lot of people are like, no, it's Stephanie. Also, Diggin' Gypsy says, he also said if she knew it was her, she would go back and dig up everything. She was digging up that Ascidians. But guys, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to fight over who was it. In my opinion, it was Diggin' Gypsy. Unless Stephanie can show an exact picture that she sent to Forrest at that time that was within 100 feet of what we're talking, or 200 feet of what we're talking about here. Sorry, you can't convince me. That can be a different show, though.
Even if he did say that, he's messing with Stephanie. Forrest messed with people. Another problem with this treasure hunt is he messed with different people in different ways. I'm sorry, he just did. I'm not going to say he outright lied to people, but he told K-Pro her solve was false. How did you dip your? Was that water warm? Did you dip your toe? And how horrible that he told you your solve was false, but he didn't tell all the other people. Anyway, all right. Okay, let's get back up. Let's get back to the PowerPoint.
Yeah,
we only
Jane
have
says
84 pages left.
It just means you can't take a tree out. Okay, next slide, please.
Will Fenn's solution ever be out, K-Pro?
Go ahead. Your turn.
I do strongly believe, and this is K-Pro's opinion, I do strongly believe the entire solution will be out one day. I believe some are working on getting the solution in a variety of ways. Some know the solution, some are discussing, and some are gaining evidence. I believe this will be the new info for the documentaries, if they ever come out. I'm skeptical myself. Some have decided, due to the statute, to not share that information. So in other words, the person who comes out with the proof and says, this was it, without a doubt, that's the spot, and somebody goes there and does something, that person can be held liable. Is that what we think? Okay. That is what the statute says. Would Yellowstone actually go after a person for such things? That's what we hope to find out in the coming weeks. So make sure you subscribe and ring the bell, because we're still going to have Forrest Fenn treasure found on Monday nights. You guys thought this was the last video, but it's not. Okay.
Yeah. So Bobby D says the Condor 2 could have been just as likely to be Jack's partner. It doesn't mean it was him, except if you clicked on the links that took you to some promotions, the person's name was Jonathan Stoof. There's a bunch of variety of reasons. Maybe we'll do a show on it just because it is so apparent if you look at all of it. But that's just my opinion. Jack said that the hints in TTOTC regarding the blaze, there were hints regarding the blaze. Yeah, that last picture, like Mike said, looking at tree stumps, looking up. There's some others. We can do a show on it, but this would be 10 hours if we,
10 hours. We got a little mini marathon going on tonight, but that's all right because this is important. So I think for everybody. Pictures of the general. Hey, somebody wanted pictures of the general area. There we go. Thumbs up for pictures of the general area. Okay. That is the Fenn Rock? No, the Fenn Rock's on the other side, right? Correct. Okay. This is just a picture of the Madison at 9 Mile Hole. It is beautiful. I mean, talk about a beautiful area. I want to go check it out someday. And look at you had to go through that. I mean, that's like pickup sticks right here. And it was like this in 2013 when Gypsy was there. That's crazy. Okay. There are those fishermen. Yep. And these are a variety of pictures from Thor. Most of these are from Rudy. I think this one's from Rudy. I don't remember where I've gotten them all. There's just a variety of, it's just beautiful. Right. And so what you have to do is get up on this pole and just walk it all the way down and snap an ankle out there in the middle. That's the beginning of the island. Yeah. Right. Cool, okay. Right? Gardener's Island. That's my picture. That's the guy that I talked to. Like fishing in a barrel. That's Fenn Rock right there, right? Yes. Yeah. The one with Forrest Fenn's dad was right there back in probably what, 40s, 30s, 50s? I don't know, 50s or 60s. Wonder when that picture was taken is what I'm saying. 70s? I don't know. Okay. It's a beautiful area. That's the creek. Oh, now this is interesting. So on the left, we have Jack's picture of the treasure chest. Notice the diatrice if that's the right word, on the ground. And then notice this is your picture of the area.
No, this was again Rudy. Got to give credit to Rudy. Documented the hell out of the area. Yeah.
And this is all obsidian right here. No, what are those little things? I don't know what those
pine
are.
cones. I don't know.
Yeah, a little something. But yeah, look, I mean, talk about that is a possible match, I would say. Not exactly, but
I
we're
think
just
the top
the area
one
match.
it was matched. Yeah.
The area matches. That's all we're
I
saying.
agree.
I think that's the stick from the treasure chest right there. Anyway. So thanks to Rudy for the help. Place to cross here. That's where you and Steve crossed, right?
Yes. Buck.
Now
That's what his friends call
the lava shelf is the Homa Brown.
Correct.
The thinking goes. So what Forrest Poem says is put in below, you would cross right here. And maybe 10 years ago when Forrest did this, it was not that hard to cross. Maybe this was the easiest place.
And
to
over
cross.
time, it'll change a little and places will become deeper and all that.
And also time of year and the spring melt. I wonder what the month is where the river is the lowest. That's would be the
right now.
Is it August? Because Forrest did this, we think, at least in August, right?
Yes.
So again, you have to go here and then nigh to the left. You go over here and find the creek. You follow the creek. No paddle up your creek. This is where you go. That's why you know where to go from here. The theory is because this is an island. This is the creek, two creeks.
And you find the paddle not up your, there's no paddle up your creek. You find the dry one, and the dry one takes you right to it.
Well, and also no paddle up your creek could mean there's no boat getting through this. This is water, but there's a bunch of crap here. You know what I mean? It's not like the Madison. It's a creek, but there's no way to do a boat or a paddle in there. You've got to walk.
I should have put my foot on the right upper picture. That is a huge bear paw. And there were bears within a mile with that weekend. We're within a mile. They're getting ready to hibernate.
This is a picture you took?
Yes.
And where in relation to here was it?
Homa Brown.
Right around here?
Right there.
Right here. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I bet the bears know about Homa Brown. They come down and just swipe a fish out of there, right? Fishermen know it, and so do the bears. I got to imagine. Bears aren't stupid. Okay. But wait. GPS. What's
Can you hit the sad one? Can you hit the
sad one? We gotta all right, this is for the code breaker Charlies, thanks to Randy. But check it out. This is the GPS. I mean, this is a GPS right here in the area, right? And I don't know if you guys were up here or whatever. What Randy did is he took the GPS numbers that are in the poem and he added 14 to the 14 to them. I'm sorry, 14. And he thought it led right here. And it doesn't, because one of his numbers was wrong. So Randy says he's still working on it. So basically everybody ignore this GPS. But you may say, why did he add 14 to the numbers? Well, drum roll. Because 14 goes right through the poem on the Too Far to Walk map, the 14 degrees of declination.
Whatever.
So if you take and here it is, if you take the GPS numbers that are in the poem, but it's 26, it's not 22. So he made a mistake. 44, 26, 00, 110, 42.2. You add 14 to each, to the 22 and to the 42. He thought it took you right there, which is a hell of a coincidence if it even puts you in the general area, but it actually the number's off. So it was interesting. I had me going for a little while until I actually looked into it. So, and now if we just figure the GPS out of the beacon star.
And you know what? If you just want to go figure that out, you can.
Oh, if I actually figure it out to where it makes sense, or Randy does, we're going live. We're definitely going to do a show on it. I will anyway.
Okay, let's keep moving.
I know you could give a crap. Okay, more is coming in the next 1 to 2 years. You mean we have another 1 to 2 years of shows, K-Pro?
Oh, I think we have. Yes.
There was always more treasure hunts in the Treasure Hunt Amusement Park, everybody. But whenever we have news for the community, we will always go live on Monday nights. Forrest Fenn Treasure Found, Sunday kitchen table conversations, and we're going to talk about the different other theories that come up. If anything looks valid, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we're doing conspiracy. Okay, yeah. Let's just keep going. So one of the things that a lot of people pointed me to, and I didn't get my hands on, was Marvin's fishing logs. I did not know this. When you are a fisher person, you make logs of where you, on this day I went to this location and I found this fish and this size and this.
I never knew that either. Wow.
And I use this kind of fishing lure or whatever. Forrest's dad, Marvin, had a fishing log. The fishing log shows that they spent a lot of time at 9 Mile Hole the last year or so. I asked Dale. Dale has that, the fishing logs.
Oh, wow.
I asked Dale, could I have a copy of them, or are they going to be posted somewhere? He said he is considering posting them soon on his blog. So I'm excited about that. I'd like to see that. I think that's going to be even more evidence of the 9 Mile Hole area.
All you got to do, Rudy, is send it to K-Pro and it will find its way into a PowerPoint. Or better yet, come on the show.
Yes, and you're
So,
invited.
yeah, there's always going to be discussion.
Cameras set up all through. I know that this isn't, I don't know what all is going to come out through those cameras, but I know both audio and video were on. I don't know. I feel creepy about it, so I won't talk too much about it. It definitely changed our experience knowing that we were being recorded. I'm not a fan of secret recordings without people authorizing them, so I'm going to just leave it at that. It changed our experience there.
So there's a message from Ryan. He says, I asked Dale if he could post the fishing log, and he said he considered them Fenn family property, and it's up to them to release them. So that's interesting.
When was that, Ryan? Because I messaged Dale 2 days ago. Maybe, you know what? There's a lot of emails that are being shared that maybe, I don't know. So, yeah. Okay.
A few months ago, he says. A few months ago.
Okay. Mine was just a few days ago. So there you go. And then scientific evidence we had up on our Facebook. One of the Nookers said they're collecting scientific evidence, and that is underway. So I think we will see more in that regard, which is kind of exciting. And then Forrest family, estate, Jack, they are engaging with the select few, and they've confirmed the general location, or I believe at least they have. And hopefully, I believe.
That's a conspiracy theory right there. Yeah.
I believe it'll be in the documentaries and the books that are going to be coming out in the next year or two.
Yeah, and I really hope a documentary happens. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's in it. And I don't care where it's shown. I just hope there's something that is created post-find. There's been documentaries before, but really post-find is the way to go. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. A lot of people make promises, but nobody's made it happen yet.
The one that I know for a fact is going to happen, because I think he's going to die doing it. It might take him another 12 years. But Jens, his isn't dependent on a budget. His isn't he told me how much he has spent. Dear God. So he isn't dependent on a network picking things up. There's some that are dependent on that. His is not one of them. There is going to be a documentary out there.
Come on, Jens, get it out. I'll pay to watch it. Lon says, why do you need fishing logs? Well, you got to ask for fishermen that. But it's probably to keep track of where the good fish are, would be my guess. I don't know.
Okay. Blue B says, how far did K-Pro walk? Even round trip trife would be a few miles. No, it was 500 feet out, 500 feet back, 500 feet out, 500 feet back.
Oh, I cannot. There we go. I'm trying to get Lou B's comment. What's up, Lou? Yeah, it was Randy thought he had another GPS thing that worked, but it's a little bit off, but we're still working on it. I was going to send it to you too, and then I realized one of the numbers was off. But if we ever get something that works, I'll send it to you. Lou B is a pilot, everybody, so he knows about GPS.
I will be shocked if Jens does not make his documentary. He just has too much footage. Yeah. He has too much going. But I also told him, there's a time that you stop getting footage and you start work. I think that's actually what Shannon was grabbing him. And I was like, make the damn documentary. There was definitely some shenanigans at the bar.
We support Jens too. I mean, his drone shots and everything are awesome. So it's just get it down. Get it down, Jens. If you can get the Hasselhoff to get in it, you'll be all set.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Not Mr. Hoff, but the Hoff.
Lisa, do you know who placed the game cameras? I have had people tell me. So yes, I believe I do, but I don't want to get into that.
Somebody asked, could you FOIA Yellowstone to find out who owns the cameras? Well, that's only if they know that the cameras are there. Maybe they don't. But again, we didn't put them up, so we're not really concerned about them.
Jens is an artist. Yes, he is. And he does the best work, I think, of cutting footage and having drone shots and all of that. I think we figured out he has several hundred hours, and he's like, I don't have enough yet. Yes, you do, Jens. Go home. Start cutting footage, my friend. Do it.
You both.
Okay.
But we're not done with the PowerPoint yet, are we?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're doing.
All right, here we go. Special thanks. Oh, now this is the last page. So we want to thank
thank
you. 2 pages. Joe Lewicki for the most important chapter, picture story from years ago. 3D Bronze for letting me hold a replica chest. Was 3D Bronze there? Oh, no, Jens brought it.
Jens brought it, and he got it from J Flanagan.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
GreedyBronze.com, everybody. Minotaur Moreno for the map that he posted on Thor and for his Excel spreadsheet, which I have somewhere buried in my computer. Dale for reopening your blog and key information. Unnamed Bullwinkles and Parade Rest Ranch staff. I think we need to have another show on Parade Rest Ranch. I'm not sure what's going on there. Thor and Cowlazars Facebookers. Oh, yeah. Everybody on Facebook, you mean?
You know how many times I say, guys, can you find me something quick? And it's like within a minute, somebody finds me something.
You get 18 different things. Yeah.
Right.
Ben from Treasure Warriors, assistance with Reddit. Jens for hitting the reset button and great info for boots on the ground. Jens, you better be there at the World Series of Fenn. You can film everybody and not have anybody sign anything. Ryan for a search partner photo. Tony Rusi for context of the area and great information. Douglas Preston for the interview. Random Fishing People for their stories of the 9 Mile hole. I think we got to thank Rudy and the other guys for posting on Thor, right?
There's
Well, I
a
guess
second.
Thor and Facebook.
Hold on. There's
a second one. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't read a lot of this stuff, guys.
I give it to you beforehand. I don't know why you don't.
I'm busy. Special thanks to Steve, the voice of reason, safety, and waiters. That's Buck, right?
Yeah.
Shannon and Cynthia, girls trip adventures.
I'm just leaving it at that.
Shannon, life lessons, right time and opportunity. I don't know what that means, and I probably don't want to know. Cynthia, great stories and margaritas. Vertigo, there it is. Vertigo, Rudy, and Must Listen Good. They put out this location, 650 plus replies on Thor. Go to the Hint of Riches if you don't know what we're talking about, everybody. Rudy, pictures and some tech support. Randy P, because you will never be a turd source. You are my Valentine source. And Randy spilled it all, but we'll talk about that on Thursday. Diggin' Gypsy, wow, just wow. Pictures and emails are incredible. Jack for Condor and leaving enough breadcrumbs. And Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Hermione, how do you say
Hermione.
that? Hermione? Oh,
what's wrong with you?
Key unnamed sources to get closure. And then you're going to say who they are right now? No, that's why they're unnamed sources. Sorry. So maybe if you're thinking she didn't thank me, well, maybe she did and you don't know it. And then Cowlazars for letting me go on this trip and being wonderful. And there it is, everybody. And
some people said to me, why do you think you need to ask Mike? When you're in a relationship, you absolutely do ask your partner when you have kids and commitments and all the chaos and the expense. Someone said to me they would send me a picture for some money. And I like to help with this PowerPoint. And I kind of went, GPS cost me a few grand. This trip cost me a few grand, plus time away from the family, time away from work. I had to bolt in, bolt out, get to work, all of that. There are times that you just say, I joked around and said, maybe I'll shut down the forum to pay for the pic. You know, we had enough pictures. We had enough stuff. But thank you to Mike, because he's always, when I said, any chance? And he's like,
gotta go. It's Forrest Fenn Treasure. If you think you can get something figured out, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But I hope to make a trip with K-Pro someday. I think maybe someday in the future we could do a meetup up there. But first, World Series of Fenn, everybody. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Is Fenbury? Did Fenbury gonna? It's already September. Is Fenbury gonna happen or not happen this year? Do we know? Does anybody know?
Fenbury
in New Mexico, I should say.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I haven't heard nothing.
Well, if you got to get your Thrill of the Chase fix in, we're having a little get together February 5th and 6th of next year in Las Vegas, Bally's. Everybody's invited. You may be thinking, yeah, not me. No, you're invited too. We just say leave drama with Obama's mama. Leave it at home and come out to Vegas and have some fun. So we hope everybody in the chat is there. We hope all the people on Facebook and Thor show up.
Comment?
Sure.
Because Treasure Hunter said, Mike told me he wears the pants of the family. Yeah, I might be the more outgoing one. There is no doubt who is the real man, and real men make sure that they hold the household together. He is the man of our household. I could go on and on about it. Some of you guys are like, oh, she's so loud and this. I might be loud, but when I get out of line, he tells me. I ask him on certain things. And if he buys another comic book collection, I'm going to go crazy.
More money. I think we've got to start doing some storage auction videos. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you something when we get off. Okay. No, we didn't buy one. Not yet.
That means we've bid on one and we're going to have to pick it up in the morning.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it. We hope that we can really have a fun conversation with everybody in February. So come on out.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen for next week. If you would like to send me an email or messenger or whatever, we won't be able to get everybody in. Perhaps, I don't know. We're looking for 2, 3, 4 people, not emotionally evidence-based. Why is 9 Mile absolutely the right location? Why did this hit it out of the park? Why did this totally not hit it out of the park? Why is this wrong? Evidence-based. 1,000 of K-Pro trips was just Bullwinkles, right? I was not, it was Wild West, but no. I think Jens bought the most drinks. So if you'd like to be on the show next week and we talk about any part of it, it could be any part of the trip, things that we didn't go over. We need to have a panel discussion. Especially, I'd like you to hear from Buck. He had the bird's eye view. There was a few things that I wasn't able to talk to him about that I'd like to get his response to. Diggin' Gypsy, you're welcome to come on. Rudy, Vertigo, Cynthia, Shannon, Randy, everybody's
Try
invited.
the wheel. Try the GPS.
We'll try to get a couple of these together and kind of take it from there. But this is the time that I have closure, but that doesn't mean I had closure at a time on GPS turd source, and we figured it out through all of you that he was a turd. And so if we have a new turd source, I want to know it.
Maybe that source wants to come on the show. You just never know what might happen in the future. Adam says, I'd like to see Rudy on the panel.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like 9 Mile Hole, and that's okay. You don't have to, because you know what? If Forrest liked it, that's all that matters. But I understand what you're saying. You don't think it's the right solution. I get it. We've got as I have gone alone in there. 1-1 is 11 mile equals the water hole. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. We hope you guys like the PowerPoint. What are we at? We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but we thought it was important to go over the trip. Everybody wanted to know how it went. Thank you for watching, James. We appreciate it.
And then the next step from here, I'm sorry to say, there were stories in Yellowstone. There were stories, and there was a lot that came in during from people outside. And I think there's some things that are happening with Nudgegate. I think I've already told you that Jack and I don't know when the last time you guys got an email. Mine was in the last 24 hours. So
from Jack?
From Jack.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I think a lot of things. So we just need to kind of regroup on Nudgegate. If it happened, what's happening? What the treasure chest going up for sale? What's happening there? Was there a nudge?
The story's not over, guys. We just, even though the K-Pro may have closure, I may not, you may not. There's other things we can still talk about as they come up in the community. And then there's still what's going to happen to the treasure chest.
Carrie, I did not say we were BFFs. I just said that I did get a response from him. And so it's anyway.
Well, did it say 9 Mile Hole equals 9 Mile? No, I don't know. Can you share that? Now, of course, they want to know what the topic was of that email. I don't even know. K-Pro's even told me.
2 words.
I'll interrupt. Yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I got it. Indiana Jones interrupted it with the $5 super chat. Says, I remember Anton sitting in that woman's bedroom when she came home. Scary. Like that drawing of the bedroom from Too Far to Walk. Okay. What was the topic of Jack's email or your email?
2 words. You ready?
Yeah. Turd source. No.
Search partner.
Search partner. So you talked to Jack. Oh, does that mean there is a search partner? I guess it depends.
I'm not saying anything because Jack, we need to discuss. I don't know. This is not about that tonight. Conspiracy theories will come out in the future. Randy is your name search partner.
Spilled it all. Randy just put the whole thing out there, but that'll be Thursday show. I think we're going to do a Thursday show.
And yeah, somebody asked me if I got paid to go on this trip. If I did, I haven't gotten the check. Can I please have? I didn't get paid. I had expenses. I didn't get paid a dime. So please forward money to me, and they can be in DB Cooper bills. They can be in gold coins.
Hashtag sarcasm, everybody. Nice cliffhanger. Yeah. So did I hear we're going to have a panel on Monday? People can come on. Okay.
Email me, guys. Well, if there's enough interest, this might have been enough. We don't need to discuss anymore. But I guarantee, I'd almost like to have the Rudy Vertigo Must Listen Good, because they could probably just go, oh, here's the things that you missed that made it even more compelling. Because again, 655 responses or something. I know I missed some stuff, and I apologize. And Rudy, if you want to dress up as Forrest, Fenn, or Jack, you should pick.
Oh, World Series of Fenn costume contest. Rudy and Jack. I could see it. Let's do it. We'll have some cool prizes. There's a lot of fun stuff we could do for World Series of Fenn, but we have to know who's coming. If you know, when you book your flight and you're like, I'm going to be there that weekend, please let us know so we can make a list, and then we can come up with some cool stuff to do. It's Vegas, Fremont Street. I mean, there's so many things that we could do.
Rudy just voted.
Yeah.
And I agree, and I think the entire search community does. Marty, we would be honored if you would consider coming on the panel. Only a positive, fun place. We won't let anybody razz you too hard, because we get to hit this little thing called the delete button. I would love to have you on, because I do have to say, when I saw those pictures, oh my gosh, it made me just go, oh, she walked by it. This confirmed.
Yeah.
She walked by it.
That was where all the obsidian was piled on top of it. You couldn't see it. Can you post the video link again? Yeah, let me find our video.
Oh, holy. If she's still in chat, she can do it in like 9 seconds, I'm sure.
Yeah, or if anybody out there could post the video, the K-Pros video that we uploaded yesterday, we'll put that in the chat. I should put it in the description, huh? It's pronounced Anton Sugar. Okay, I didn't know that. Sugar. Okay, thank you, Indiana Jones. Okay, so panel on Monday. Beacon Star Thursday, probably. If there's anything left to talk about, at least I will tell you this, Randy. At least with the Thrill of the Chase, there's no triangles involved, so at least we get that going for us. There could be a wheel, but there's no triangles. And now apparently colors. Okay, so there it is. Hooli. There it is, everybody. I know you can't copy that or you can't click it, but in the chat you can click it. So in the chat, click on the link that Hooli just put here. Let me do it as well. Mine might be highlighted or something like that. Oh, and I just got out of it. Okay. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Any last words, Gabriel?
Yeah. The chat's getting rowdy. Let's go.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Half of them are probably drunk or tired.
Wait, if Diggin found it, you wouldn't have married Mike. You know what? It was the stars. I would have run into him when I was at a convention. Something would have happened. The stars aligned. God brought me to him.
It is funny how it all. Yeah, Bobby's invited. So Eleanor, we need to work that out. Maybe we can use Zoom. So yeah, contact me, Eleanor, if you're watching. And yes, we could. Yes, I'll talk to her, Bobby, because we have a new treasure hunt in October. Willie, who's Willie?
No, Willie the dog. And Craig, no, it was Tsuki.
Gotcha. Craig Carter, how you doing? We need to talk. We need to have a Beacon Star Zoom Thursday night for sure. Yeah, isn't that interesting the way things turned out? I mean, things turned out the way they did. They say everything happens for a reason. You know, it's all what you believe. But some people think things are meant to be. So
you know what? Okay, this will be my last parting thought, because I won't get too emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Shannon and I bonded, because I was having such a hard time in my life at the time, going through really, really hard divorce, and the kids were having a really hard time. She was in a positive place, even though she had lost her Sammy. We talked about her Sammy and my Sammy. She was going through a marriage. I was in like my roughest time of life. She was in her like rebuilding, getting strong. This trip, she's finally through her portion of the divorce. This was her first girls trip. This was her first, she's going to be strong. And this was the first time when I was traveling, and I was like, I have like the support I need. I have the right man in my life. The kids are like, everything aligned. So it was like my strong moment and her beginning strong moment. And it was really, really cool. It was my time to say, life's in a different place for me, and it's awesome. And Shannon, the same way. We would go boots on the ground during the day. In the evenings, we would go and have drinks with everybody. And then we sat up talking for hours and like cried and told stories. And she told stories about her daughter and her life. And God, that girl's actually been through stuff at a whole different level. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much. I'm just going to say, again, this trip happened for a reason for me and made an impact. Again, Forrest Fenn's chase made an impact on my life. There you go.
World Series of Fenn, there just might be a girls' night out. But you know what that
There will
means?
be.
There's going to be a guys' night out. Okay. All
Oh,
right,
girls have much more fun in Vegas. Sorry, babe.
yeah, okay. Different kind of fun. I hope everybody can make it out here in February. But yeah, we're going to go live Thursday. We're going to talk about some other treasure hunts in the Treasure Hunt Amusement Park. And then we'll be back Monday. And who knows who might be on the panel. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell, because I'm sure me and K-Pro are going to go live Sunday and talk about whatever of the 1,800 emails that K-Pro is going to get in the next 2 days. I'm sure there'll be some new information that we could talk about.
There was new information today.
Right, just today that you added the
Yeah.
PowerPoint an hour before we went live. You're making changes, so
Right.
yeah. So thanks everybody. Thank you for the thumbs up. We have 112. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. And everybody's thrill of the chase is different for them. Me and K-Pro give you a little look into our thrill of the chase, and we hope you guys like it. So good night, everybody. We will see you next time.